Whether you make your plans over a barbed wire fence or over wireless internet, if you're coming from the stock yard or the stock exchange, Durango is right at home at the Diamond Bell, timeless and timely.
It's full steam ahead at the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. Enjoy a historic trip through southwest Colorado's rich scenery with daily train excursions through the spectacular San Juan Mountains. See the world-famous 400-foot drop at the High Line. Relax as you chug along the Upper Animas River and spend an afternoon in the historic mining town of Silverton. Stop by the depot or call 247-2733. Get more information on our website at durangotrain.com.
Not going well so far. So we got our backup quarterback going then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who is our backup? Who's gonna?
I think, well, they've been using number 13, Bonifaci, but I don't know if they're going to use him or...
Oh, Bayas?
There you go. Finally, gosh. You talk a lot.
I can't help it. It's from hanging out with you, man.
You're a jerk. He's going to have a nice return right around the 35, but as Rick was saying when we came on, there was a holding, so that should take them back 10 yards from the spot, Rick, first down at 10.
Right, and so when the player for Western New Mexico was making the turn around the corner, you could clearly see that for number 13, Trevor Bonifaci was held on the side, and so that's going to back them up, and this is great news for Fort Lewis. It's going to put first down and 10 for Western New Mexico in their own, first down and 10 at the 16-yard line for Western New Mexico.
So, Western New Mexico in their bright gold helmets, white jerseys, bright gold pants. Fort Lewis comes in with those new designed Vegas gold helmets in all navy blue. There's the snap, the handoff right up the middle. Fort Lewis will have none of that as they're able Actually, he squirts through the middle at the last second, gain of 5, so brings up 2nd down and 5.
Well, I mean, the running game is going to be interesting to watch for Western New Mexico because going into the season after 2 games, they do not have a very good running game. They are only averaging 1.5 yards per carry, and they've only gotten 90 yards in 2 games rushing the ball. Clearly, their strength is their quarterback, Mitch Glassman. Mitch Glassman. He's actually very, very good at throwing the ball, but obviously running is not their strong point.
I formation for Western New Mexico. Glassman under center. There's a snap handoff again. Say play fumble. That should be Fort Lewis's football. We're going to see what the officials call it, but all of the Fort Lewis defenders coming up saying they got the ball, and they sure do. What a play.
Well, there was a huge hit in the middle of the line, and I don't know who that was, but Jamal Campbell dove in there and picked up the ball. And this is exactly what Fort Lewis needed, to get going. They've been suspect this year with all their turnovers, primarily fumbles. They've had 13 fumbles this year, so to put it on the ground on the opposite side of the field, get some great field position. 1st and 10 for Fort Lewis at the 23-yard line, and we'll see what happens here as Max Bayas comes out as the quarterback. Obviously, Jordan Doyle is injured today, and so we have our backup quarterback. We'll see how this goes.
So we've got Doyle Bodie and Aaron Holt, twins to the top. Number 81, that's Jordan Benton down the bottom. There's a snap, 3-step drop, looking deep. Now he's going to tuck it as the pocket collapses. He's going to get some nice yardage on the run. It's enough for a 1st down as he picks up 12. So that'll move the chains 1st down and 10 from the 12-yard line.
Well, he was looking down the field. Number 11 for Fort Lewis, Max Bayas, was looking down the field and just couldn't find anybody open. And he was actually grabbed by number 69 from Western New Mexico and ended up getting out of the pocket and getting a great gain for a 1st down.
Bayas in shotgun formation. Wesley lined up right behind him. There's a handoff to Wesley as he cuts back behind his guard. He pushes forward for a gain of 3, but we are going to have a penalty, and it looks like it should be defensive offsides.
That's probably what's going to happen if they didn't blow it dead at the snap. So it comes from the far side of the field from the linesman.
And Rick, you were talking earlier about Western New Mexico's offensive rush. They are ranked number 10 in the RMAC, but you flip side to the defensive side for Western New Mexico. Their rush defense is ranked number 9 in the RMAC compared to number 6 for Fort Lewis's offensive rush. So that should come into play in today's game and give this Western New Mexico's defense some fits. There's a snap handoff to Wesley. He cuts right outside. And it looked like, Rick, if Wesley just keeps it to the outside, he's going to gain a lot more yardage, but he cuts it back.
Right. I mean, it looked like the hole was open to the outside, and they're bringing in some tight ends here for the next play. But Fort Lewis this year, this is exactly the kind of game that they're going to need because the running game for Western New Mexico is not good. Fort Lewis is very good against the run. And Fort Lewis's running game is great so far this year against their defense that is not very good.
Maupin and Barry Hill check into the game as tight ends. There's a snap, fake handoff as Bayas is trying to turn the corner. He dives towards the end zone, but he's brought down right at the 2-yard line. So that's going to be close to a 1st down. Let's see if they give it to him. They don't. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 6 inches, Rick.
Well, he broke to the outside and was just short of the 1st down. We've got they did give him the 1st down. So they're on the 2-yard line, 1st and goal, and so far they look pretty good. And this is where Fort Lewis has sort of shot themselves in the foot earlier this year with a turnover in these kind of situations. Hopefully they'll get this into the end zone here on this drive without any turnovers.
Skyhawks keep both of their tight ends in the ball game. There's a snap, handoff to Wesley, who's hit right behind the backfield, and they're going to lose a yard. That's going to push him back all the way to the 4-yard line. So defense sniffs that play out.
Well, they had a blitz by the safety, number 11, Gerald Hines. He's an outside linebacker. He's 6'2", 230. And he did a good job of coming into the inside, saw the hole, and plugged that up. And so we were not able to gain any yards and actually lost 2 from DeJuan Wesley on that play.
There's a snap, 2-step drop. The throw's intended for number 80, Doyle Bodie. He was open. If number 11, his quarterback Bayas, can put it in front of him, Rick, Bodie scores, but he threw it behind him, and it was a nice play by the defender.
Well, it was a little slant pattern, so Bodie was in the slot. Makes a little slant towards the middle of the field, and the ball was a little behind him. And it's something he probably could have caught. He didn't, so we've got 3rd down on the 4-yard line for Fort Lewis.
Shotgun formation. There's a snap, fake handoff. He's getting some pressure from behind. He throws it in the corner. Touchdown! Fort Lewis, and what a play that was. And who else goes up to catch that but number 80, Doyle Bodie, right in the corner of the end zone. Barely has enough room to get his feet in play.
Well, Bayas rolled out to the right side, and there was a blitz from that side, and barely got the ball off and was hit just as the ball was being released into the corner of the end zone, the far corner of the end zone. And Bodie goes up, grabs that ball over the defender for a touchdown. It was a great play, great pass, and great catch. Fort Lewis is up 6-0 with a point after to come.
Number 97, Frazier, to kick the extra point. It's up. It's good. 7-0 is your score. Fort Lewis takes the lead, and we'll be right back with Sports Stop 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
That was good. Are you listening to us? It's a great catch. It's a great catch. Stop for a short gain of something that could have looked like it went for a much longer gain than what it ended up being. But so Jamal did a really good job on that play of stop.
You see levels in your camera that are bouncing? Oh, you got a transmitter.
They move their fullback to the right side behind his quarterback. There's a snap handoff to the running back number 31, and he's going to get a small gain of 1 as Barnes was hit in the backfield, able to shed that first would-be tackler for a short gain.
Well, that was an interesting formation because what happened was that Western New Mexico put an unbalanced line in there. So they lined up number 75, Moses Berrigan, on the end of the line like a tight end, but clearly an offensive lineman, trying to create some, to gain an advantage in the running game. It just didn't work for them to a short gain of 1 yard.
With Western New Mexico's offense, their strength is not in the passing game, so they're sticking with what they know best, which is the running game. There's a fake handoff play action looking deep. He's got a slight open in the coverage, but his quarterback throws it too far to the left side, and he tries to readjust as it was intended for number 1, Rennell Pompey. Incomplete, brings up 3rd down and 9. And Rick, we seen that really hurt Fort Lewis's defense last week.
Well, last week it was a problem for them. They had good coverage today, though. Number 12 for Fort Lewis, Terry Perkins and Jamal Campbell, both on that play, had him pretty well covered. I mean, if it would have been a perfect pass, it would have been caught, but they did a good job of doubling up. That's their leading receiver is Pompey, so they're going to try and use him a lot and often today, I would believe, to try and get some momentum.
Pompey split to the bottom. Smith to the top. The quarterback, Glassman, in shotgun formation. His running back, number 31, Barnes behind him. There's a snap, quick throw out here to number 1, and that's incomplete. And, Rick, it almost looked like if the cornerback for Fort Lewis, number 43, looks for the ball, that's Dakota K. He might pick that off and have some room to run.
You know, Dakota K played really well last year as a freshman, and this year he made a great play on that. What happened is they had the cornerback isolated on Pompey. He went in for a corner blitz, and then Dakota K rolled over to cover the receiver, Pompey, and broke that up and made a nice play, and we're going to get some good field position, I think, here off of this punt.
So McIntyre in to kick for Western New Mexico. Back is number 22 deep for Fort Lewis. That's Brown. The ball bounces around the 30, 25, and that's where they're going to drop it dead. We'll be right back. Sports Stop, 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango. Okay, we've got 1, 2 left.
Are you listening? What are you listening to? What are you listening to? Us? Oh. Really? Oh, thanks.
Run, as that was a nice open field tackle. He looked to turn the corner. He gains 8, so it brings up 2nd down and 2.
Well, he faked the dive play to DeJuan Wesley, which the defense is going to key on him, and then kept it around the corner and picked up 9 on that play. That was a great play. He showed some great decisions so far today.
There's a snap, fake handoff, play action. He's going to roll out to the top. He's got a receiver open downfield. That's a catch. He should take this to the house. There's a 10, 5, touchdown. Fort Lewis Skyhawks in the end zone. And who else? His other better half. That's number 88, Aaron Holt.
Oh, that was a great play. So Aaron Holt just casually went down the middle of the field. He fakes the dive play, rolls out to the far side, and he is open by 10 yards on that play. And that's a long touchdown pass. This is great momentum for Fort Lewis, and I had a good idea that today they were going to match up well today against New Mexico Highlands, and so far that's been the case.
62-yard touchdown pass from Bayas to number 88 Holt. There's the kick. It's up. It's right through the middle, and Fort Lewis leads this game 14-0. And Rick, we talked about this. Sometimes, you don't have a whole lot of continuity going with your quarterback. They surely struggled with the passing game last week with Jordan Doyle as their starting quarterback. And sometimes it takes just that small little change because Doyle's out with a I don't know if it's a broken
thumb or
hand
wrist
or something.
Yeah.
And in comes in the young quarterback in number 11, Bayas, and it just sparks something with the offense.
Well, I mean, you know, every week that this team is together, don't forget that they've put in new schemes, both offense, not necessarily a whole lot on defense, but certainly on offense. They're going to a pistol offense, and it creates a whole different dynamic out there. And so, you know, after so long, it's going to start clicking, and that was certainly one of those series where the pistol offense came through because it was executed perfectly, and the quarterback did a really good job of recognizing the receiver and putting it right on the money. I mean, that pass, 62-yard pass play, was right on the button for a touchdown, and Fort Lewis is up 14-0 with 8:22 left in the first quarter.
Connor Frazier in to kick for Fort Lewis. Deep for Western New Mexico, number 27, that's Sumter, and number 1, Pompey. Both lined up around the 6-yard line. It's deep into the end zone, and he's going to take it out. There's a 5. Pompey still has it at the 10. 15 runs into his own player, and they're going to bring him down right across the 22, so it'll be first down and 10 for Western New Mexico. We'll be right back after this brief message with Sports Stop, 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
His time.
One of the things that we promise every guest at Durango Motor Company is one low price, plain and simple, always.
When our guests come on the lot, they get to see our best price hanging clearly in the window of every vehicle on our lot. They can just come in, select the vehicle that they want, and already know the price up front.
Buying a vehicle should be a great experience, and that's what we provide. And taking care of our guests means one low price, plain and simple, always.
Meet Dan. He owned a dog biscuit company, but Dan wanted more, so Fast Signs created.
I mean, they're going to try and, like I said, they're going to try and establish the run today, and so far they haven't done a very good job. I mean, they're probably averaging less than 4 yards per carry, and they're going to have to try to pass the ball to open up some running lanes for their tailbacks.
So Bird and Pompey both split. There's another handoff to number 31, Barnes, who's been their workhorse up to this point. And he picks up another nice gain. So this brings up a manageable third down for Western New Mexico. 3rd down and 2. Let's see if this stingy defense can come up with a big play.
Wow, this would be great to stop him here. And, you know, this is not an easy play. This is one of those tweeners, you know, that do you pass it, do you run it? And, you know, if I were them, I probably wouldn't run it, but since they haven't had much success. But we'll see what they do here. I'm sure Fort Lewis is going to key on the run game. 2 tight ends set. There's a snap handoff. And he is able to get forward for the first down. It's going to be close, but it looks like from where the head lineman is lined up, Rick, that he got enough push. I got about a half yard longer than what he needed, half yard more than what he needed. And Fort Lewis was sort of stuff in the middle of the line. He just broke it off tackle a little bit and kept his legs driving and picked up the first down by about a half a yard. But Fort Lewis's defense is pretty stout so far today.
So number 1, their star receiver, Pompey, split to the bottom. Number 18, that's Smith to the top. Single running back in the backfield. 2 tight ends set. There's a snap. Fake handoff, rollout, and he's looking deep. Now that's a stop, caught. And that's a gain of 13 yards and a first down, and what a nice job that was by Pompey, as it looked like he was going deep, Rick, on the 15-yard comeback throw, right on target from Glassman.
Well, both the quarterback and the wide receiver did a good job, and you're absolutely right. Pompey went downfield about 15 yards, faked it long, came back, and the quarterback and him were on the same page and just happened to make a great pitch and catch there for a first down on the 47-yard line.
Well, there's the snap, handoff to number 25 as he checks into the game as a running back. That's Messias, and he's going to be stopped for a 1-yard gain.
Well, again, Fort Lewis against the run. They've been tough. They're going to be tough, and this is not the strength of New Mexico Highlands at all. I mean, again, only 90 yards a game rushing so far and averaging 1.5 yards per carry. Not really. Oh, excuse me, Western New Mexico, as it was pointed out to me, but it's not their strong point today is running the ball or on the season so far.
One receiver split out to each side. There's a snap handoff to running back number 25, Marcias, And again, he's stopped for a 1-yard gain, so that brings up 3rd down and 8 for Western New Mexico.
Well, whenever you're on defense, you want to hold them to a 3rd and long, and that's exactly what Fort Lewis has done. And defense looks like it's playing well so far, and hopefully we'll be able to get the ball back here and tee up the offense for another drive.
14-0 is the score. Fort Lewis leads this game. We're still in the first quarter, 5-10 and counting. 2 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top, 2 in the backfield. There's a snap looking deep, throws it up, and it's going to be thrown out of bounds, incomplete. And what a nice defensive stand that was by Fort Lewis as they put the quarterback, number 10, Glassman, on his backside just to remind him what's going to happen when he drops back for a pass.
Well, number 29, Broderick Sargent, he's a defensive end, 6 foot, 190 pounds out of Chesterfield, Missouri. And he came in there, did a little bit of a loop around the nose guard and up the middle and put the hammer on the quarterback. And that was a good play and overthrew the receiver by about 3 yards out of bounds.
So number 3, Josh McIntyre to kick for Western New Mexico. It's high, it's deep, it could be returned. Number 22 calls for a fair catch, and that was a smart play with Thaddeus Brown. So Fort Lewis will take over 1st down and 10 from the 11-yard line as they lead this game 14-0 with a 4:51 left. We'd like to remind you that www.radiodurango.com is where you can listen to us on the World Wide Web. Again, www.radiodurango.com, and we'd like to say thank you to a couple of important people.
Well, the Fort Lewis College Department of Athletics would like to thank the following corporate sponsors for their continued support: Coca-Cola of Durango, Durango Orthopedic Associates, Mercy Regional Medical Center, and Bank of Colorado. Go Skyhawks!
Max Bayas in shotgun formation. There's a snap. He's going to pass it. He's looking for anybody to get open. Number 81, that's Jordan Benton, finally breaks open. He sheds a tackler. He's going to have enough for the 1st down and more, as that was a gain of 14. And nice pocket protection. We don't talk about that enough, Rick. This offensive line for Fort Lewis giving Bayas great protection today.
Well, he's getting enough time to look at his 1st and 2nd and 3rd receivers, and that's exactly what happened on that play. And I've been impressed with Bayas so far. His spirals are tight. He seems to find the right receiver, and we're picking up good yardage on these plays.
And Bayas not a very tall quarterback. He's only 5'11", 205, junior from California, as that handoff went to number 16, Wesley. Short gain. I don't even know if he gained a yard, and he doesn't, so it brings up 2nd down and 10 as he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, Western New Mexico, they're gonna have to key on the run game. They know that that's been Fort Lewis's strength, and having this quarterback in and having him so accurate so far has got to be concerning for them, because they're going to have to change up their defensive game plan.
Quick throw out to the quarterback, Wesley, and again, he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure, as Western New Mexico's defense read that play all the way. It was a swing pass to Wesley, the running back, and he did gain a yard, so 3rd down and 9.
Well, they had a couple of linemen float out there, sort of a screen pass, and he put the money on the ball, or the ball on the money. But Western New Mexico saw that play and did a good job of stopping it to short yardage, and here we have 3rd and long.
So we have Benton, Bodie, and Holt. Trips to the bottom, a tight end to the top. There's a snap, 2-step drop. He's got some time. Intercepted as he threw it right into the hands of the cornerback on the coverage, number 2, and he's still on his feet, and that was a turnover. But you can't make it any more easy for Hawthorne, the cover safety on that play, as he threw it right into his hands.
Well, that pass was down the middle of the field. I believe it was Bodie. He was trying to get it to Bodie and threw it a little bit behind him, didn't lead him quite far enough, and cornerback did a good job there, Hawthorne, of intercepting that ball, and they're going to get possession around the 19-yard line of Fort Lewis. And again, turnovers is what's hurt us so far this year, and that was the first bad decision that Bayas has made this game so far.
Wishbone formation in the backfield. 2 running backs, 1 tailback. Handoff to 31, and he's trying to turn the corner. Nice run by Barnes, as he's going to have close to a 1st down. I think he's short a yard. So it brings up 2nd down and 1 for Western New Mexico.
Oh, that was like watching a 1930s play there. They had the quarterback, and then they had 2 fullbacks and a tailback, and basically just gave it off to the tailback off the left tackle, and it was a good run. 2nd and about a half a yard to gain here for Western New Mexico.
Glassman under center. Wishbone yet again for the Mustangs. 14-0 is your score. Fort Lewis leads this game in the first quarter. Hand off to Barnes. As he goes forward, he's going to meet a pile of Skyhawk defenders, but he's able to push forward, and he gets enough for the first down as he gains 4. So that'll bring up 1st down and goal from the 5-yard line.
Well, it was the same formation as the prior play, and I guess they're going to take that philosophy. We're going to use this until you can stop it, and they've gotten about 12 yards on 2 carries, which is way above what their average is, and they're down on the 6-yard line at this point, 5-yard line. 1st down, goal to go.
So Barnes in the backfield, 2 fullbacks, number 29. That's Perez, number 40. That's Martinez. Tight end to the left, and 1 wide receiver split out to the top part of the field. Again, a handoff to Barnes right through the middle. And he's going to be met by, well, pick your poison, about 4 defenders from Fort Lewis, so 2nd down and goal.
Dalton Lane did a good job for Fort Lewis. He's a defensive lineman, 6'2", 275, and he did a good job of filling the hole there and holding them to virtually no gain. So Fort Lewis, it won't take them long to figure out this run offense here, and that was a good job again by number 58, Dalton Lane, filling the hole.
So they go with a single running back in the backfield. That's Barnes. They split 2 receivers to the bottom. That's number 1, Pompey. Number 13, that's Bird. Tight end as well. Handoff to Barnes, and he has his feet cut out from underneath him as he dives forward for a gain of 1. So still 3rd down and goal, this time from the 4-yard line.
Well, I think they split out the receivers to try and open up the center of the field, and Fort Lewis just wasn't going to have any of that and did a good job of stopping them. We've got 3rd down on the 4-yard line, 3-yard line, and 3rd and goal. Fort Lewis is up 14-0 with 1:06 left in the first quarter.
So the quarterback Glassman was summoned to the sidelines by his offensive coordinator. He's got the play now. So I formation for the Mustangs. That's number 31 Barnes. In front of him is the fullback, number 40 Martinez, who is quite the load. They split a receiver to the top and fumble on the ground. Let's see if Fort Lewis gets it as the quarterback and running back run into each other. And that caused the fumble, but it looks like number 31 Barnes is able to land right on top of it. So they will keep the football, Western New Mexico. But great stop here by Fort Lewis as it brings up a 4th down, and they lose 2 yards on the play.
Well, it looked like there was miscommunication, but I think what happened there was big push in the middle of the line by Reyes from Fort Lewis and just clogged up the middle, which created a bad handoff between the quarterback and the running back. He put it on the ground. We got 4th down here on the 4-yard line. We'll see if Fort Lewis can stop them and take possession.
The conventional decision would be to kick the field goal. They opt to go for it. It's a throw in the corner, touchdown, and that was about as easy as it can get as a throw to the corner. It completed to number 19. That's Larry Young. And he is quite the target, 6'3". He goes against the smaller cornerback, number 2, Campbell, who's 5'11".
Well, I mean, that was a complete mismatch, and they just did a fade to the corner of the end zone and did a good job of going up and grabbing that ball for a touchdown. And their quarterback, Glassman, I mean, their strength so far, if they have one, their strength so far has been passing the ball, and that was a nice touch and a good extra point. Fort Lewis is up 14-7, and that's the end of the first quarter.
So we'll take it back to the station. When we come back, we'll have the start of the second quarter at Sports Stop 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
With a traditional Irish menu and all your favorite brews on tap. The Irish Embassy, Durango.
For natural and organic vitamins and supplements and health and beauty products, there's no better place than Nature's Oasis. We offer an experienced staff, nutrition and supplement education, and exclusive products. Nature's Oasis, home to the largest selections of vitamins and supplements in the
Holy cow. Thanks.
I just can't believe how long they make us take breaks.
Yeah.
Or how many.
Yeah.
Start of the second quarter.
Well, that was a handoff up the middle, but this game's getting a little intense. We got number 73 out there, Arthur Ray Jr. for Fort Lewis, and he's going up against number 58 for Western New Mexico. That's Jose Flores, and obviously something's going on there in the line of scrimmage, and that might be a horse collar, but I think he had him below the actual collar to bring him down, so it'll be 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, I thought that was pretty dang close from it being a horse collar tackle, but they get away with one. So 3rd down and 5 for the Skyhawks as they are bringing in new receivers. So to the bottom part of the field's number 81, that's Benton. To the top is number 80 and 88, that's Holt and Bodie. In the backfield, the new running back, number 30, checks in. There's a snap to Bayas, looking left all the way. It's completed, but got absolutely nowhere with that pass as it was thrown. The pattern, that was a strange pattern, Rick, as it was just run right even with the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things you preach into your receivers is you need to get to the line to gain so that you have an opportunity for a first down, unless it's a screen pass. And he's just one-on-one out there on the wing, far side of the field, and very short gain brings up 4th and about 3. So we'll be punting the ball back to Western New Mexico.
So deep to punt for Fort Lewis, as always, is number 24, Gallardo. He has a nice punt that's caught right around the 25, and he's hit but misses. He's out in the open. He may turn the corner. If he does, he's gone, and he does just that. 10-5 touchdown, number 13, but this may be coming back. It was one of the Fort Lewis College football players went flying on the top part of the field, and we may have a legal block in the back, but nonetheless, that was a return punt for a touchdown up to this point by number 13, Donald Bird.
Well, that was a great return by number 13 for them, Donald Bird. And again, between him and Pompey, they're sort of their go-to people in this offense, and you can see why. He did a good job of running that ball down the field for a touchdown. It looks like the officials are discussing this, so we'll see. Maybe they'll waive this off. We'll see. I doubt it, but here's the call.
While they get that figured out, we will take a quick break. We'll be right back at Sports Stop 930 AM ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
Okay, I did not hear that call, but that was interesting how that would work.
What was the call?
Sorry, what?
I said, is it possible for you guys to...
Really?
Visit the scenic James Ranch in the Animas River Valley and enjoy lunch or dinner at the Harvest Grill and Greens. The menu is based on a seasonal supply of organically grown James Ranch products. The Harvest Grill and Greens at James Ranch, 10 miles north of Durango.
Inside Durango TV uses 100% green power.
Go underground with the Old 100 Gold Mine Tour.
You know, that's strange because we had asked them if
mine.
we would be cut off, and they said yeah, so it's kind of... And do we have a deal for them too? Don't we have...
The Old 100 Mine Tour runs 7 days a week with hourly tours, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pan for gold and silver as long as you like, and keep what you find. Take a scenic drive north to historic Silverton and the Old 100 Gold Mine Tour.
Come in! Welcome to the Durango Area Parade of Homes, opening Friday, September 27th. Friday night kicks things off with romantic Homes Under the Stars parties. Then tour parade homes all weekend to discover amazing architecture and fresh ideas for your home. One $15 ticket grants you access to all events for 3 days. Participants could win a full set of kitchen appliances, a granite countertop, or other great prizes. So come join us for the 10th Annual Parade of Homes.
Okay, now we only got 2, so when we...
This is crazy. There's like this going on, stats.
I don't disagree.
Turn it off, turn it on. Golly.
Oh, we're going to have a penalty.
Now what?
They're going to make him re-kick it.
Good. That kid can kick it out of the end zone. I don't know what the point is there. So I didn't know you could have a block in the back after the play's over.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Ridiculous.
This should have been a, if anything else, after the play.
Right.
Welcome back, as we had a penalty on the kickoff, so they're going to make him re-kick. And Rick, a couple of important people we'd like to say thank you to.
Well, the Fort Lewis College Department of Athletics would like to thank the following corporate sponsors for their continued support: CJ Diners, Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge, Durango Motor Company, Moorhart Murphy Regional Auto Center, Inside Durango TV, and you mentioned that earlier, First National Bank of Durango, Durango Herald, Holiday Inn and Suites. Go Skyhawks.
So here's the kick. This time it's going to be much shorter. It's going to be taken still deep in the end zone, and number 5 does a smart thing. That's Amory Diggs. So we're going to have first down and 10 from the 25 for Fort Lewis. Also like to thank you. Also like to remind you that Fort Lewis College has hooked up with what'shappeningdurango.com. You can go to what'shappeningdurango.com, purchase any tickets you like for Fort Lewis sports, as well as listening to us live on the World Wide Web at www.radiodurango.com. Skyhawks pre-recorded games can be viewed anytime on DurangoTV.com and on cable channel 15 all day Sunday, as well as Tuesday and Thursday evenings during the Skyhawks fall and winter sports. Shotgun formation for Diaz. He hands it off to number 6, T. Mosley, who's able to turn the corner. He's going to have enough for the first down and more as he gains 17 on the play, and flags come flying in from everywhere, Rick. Are we going to have a hit out of bounds?
Well, there's definitely going to be a late hit out of bounds on that, and he was in the grasp of the tackler when he went out of bounds and then was piled on after that. That's going to be an additional 15 yards from the end of the run. And I don't know what the spot was, but it looks like the spot's a 41. So another 15 yards onto that. And Fort Lewis has got great field position right now. Hopefully we can turn this into a score.
Well, that's DeJuan Wesley's best run up to this point in the game, as Western New Mexico's done a great job of keeping him in check. So 3 receivers to the bottom part of the field. That's going to be Holt, Bodie, and Benton tied into the top. Bodie goes in motion. Fake handoff to Wesley, and the quarterback, Bayas, keeps it. He goes forward for a gain of 3, so brings up second down and 7.
Well, that was a simple fake handoff up the middle, and then quarterback keep, and gets 3 yards, and sometimes you can break those for a long gain, but in this particular down, held him to 3 yards. We got second and 7 on the 42-yard line. Tie game 14-14.
Again, Bolt, Jordan, and Benton to the bottom. There's a snap, handoff, rollout. Looking for number 81, Jordan, who he hits right in stride, and that's going to be brought out around the 18-yard line, and that's going to be a nice gain of 22 on the pass reception.
Oh, that was a great play. Seems like the quarterback, Bayas, does a good job when he rolls out and he's able to see the field. You mentioned earlier he's not the tallest. He's around 5'11", but he did a good job on that play, recognizing the receiver downfield.
There's a handoff to number 16, Wesley, who's going to lose 2 yards on the carry. They try to get him to the outside of the field, and the defense for the Mustangs all over that play. So 2nd down and 12. 14-14 is your score in the second quarter. 3 receivers to the top part of the field, Bayas calls for. That's going to be Benton, Bodie, and Holt. Tight end down to the bottom. That's number 85, Berryhill. There's a snap, handoff to Wesley, who's caught down from behind. And Rick, they've got to do something with these outside linebackers coming in from the outside being unchecked, as that's the second tackle for a loss, this time a loss of 4.
Well, what's happening is wherever the ball is going, the offside linebacker is blitzing on that play, and they don't have anybody to block him. And so by the time they're able to hand the ball off and start the initial rush upfield, that outside linebacker has already run down the running back. We've got 3rd and 16 right now for Fort Lewis on this play.
So Benton in single coverage to the top, Bodie and Holt to the bottom. There's flags everywhere, and the officials offsides on the defense, and the quarterback, Bayas, gets smashed to the ground.
I'm surprised they let that play go, because you could easily see that the quarterback was going to be tackled, and normally the white hat will stop that play if it's unabated to the quarterback, because you certainly don't want to get the quarterback injured on a silly play like that when everybody knows what the penalty is. It's quite obvious. In any event, it's 3rd down and 11 to go. Fort Lewis is on the 24-yard line. This is a big play for them, either to get them closer for a field goal or possibly a 1st down or touchdown.
Let's see if Bayas can make some magic happen again. There's a snap, 3-step drop. He's looking to single coverage to Jordan. Feet got tangled up. He goes down, and it looks like he may have gotten the backside of his jersey pulled down as his body twisted the other way, and that's usually a sign of pass interference.
Well, number 23, Eldrick Bright, was covering Jordan Benton on that play, and it was a slant pattern, and they did get tangled up. The official must have seen something in addition to, maybe he did grab his jersey. In any event, it's going to be pass interference on the defense, which will give them a 1st down right around the 7 or 8 yard line, I believe, going into the end zone. So Fort Lewis is again in great position, and quarterback did a good job on that Bayas of noticing where the receiver is at and making a good throw and creating that pass interference. A lot of times pass interference is because what the quarterback does, not necessarily because what the wide receiver does.
1st down and goal for the Skyhawks as they're knocking on the door of the end zone yet again. 2 tight ends set, a receiver to each side of the field. To the top is Benton. To the ball's number 88, Holt. In the backfield is number 16, Wesley, who leads his team in touchdowns. Fake handoff, Bayas keeps it himself, and he's going to get in the end zone, and that is a touchdown. Number 11, Max Bayas, and this offense sure is clicking, Rick, since he has started this football game.
What made that play, Albert, was that number 81, the wide receiver for Fort Lewis, Jordan Benton, was downfield blocking against number 37, Greg Elliott, and he tied up that cornerback, which created the lane for the quarterback to get into the far side of the end zone. Had that block not happened by Benton, which was a great block, I was watching the whole way, then that would not have scored a touchdown. So the wide receiver needs to get credit for making that play happen for Fort Lewis.
There's a kick, and it's good. 21-14 is our score, and we'll be right back with the kickoff for Fort Lewis on Sports Stop 930 AM, ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
When you come back on, just right here where the tape is.
Sporting News Grill at the new Holiday Inn and Suites of Durango is now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Featuring a full-service restaurant and bar with 11 HD TVs, it's a great venue for family and sports fanatics alike. The Sporting News Grill. Stop in and let us show you our game face.
It's time for rejuvenation with luxurious healing waters, breathtaking views, and lavish spa treatments at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs. Stay at the new EcoLux Hotel and enjoy 24-hour access to our 23 unique pools by the river. Indoors, relax in the hotel and enjoy therapeutic services at the spa. It's time for rejuvenation at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs.
www.america1.com for viewing information. And here comes a kickoff for Fort Lewis. Deep for the Mustangs is number 4. That's Galori, and number 27. And he's going to take that. That's Sumter. And he's going to have his feet cut out from underneath him right around the 25-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Mustangs, Rick. And so far, this defense of Fort Lewis, which you and I had spoke to at the beginning of the season, was really the strong focal point of this Skyhawks team.
Well, after the first quarter, some of the statistics, total offensive plays and yards for Western New Mexico, 20 plays for 64 yards. Fort Lewis had 13 plays for 111 yards. Rushing yards net for Western New Mexico, only 46 yards. Fort Lewis had 83 yards in the air compared to 18 for Western New Mexico.
Glassman handed off, flea flicker, and he's open downfield. If he could put it in the basket of his intended receiver, and I'll tell you, number 22 was on the coverage. That's Brown, and he got lucky as he went in and knocked that ball away, but didn't turn his head around, but he didn't make contact, and I think that was the important key.
Well, he didn't make contact, and he didn't face guard, and he was lucky because he was beat by about four yards on that play. It was a flea flicker, and he sort of ate the fake of the dive play and let the receiver go by him, and Thaddeus Brown did a good job of closing, but he's lucky that ball wasn't on the money because that would have been a touchdown for sure.
2 receivers to the bottom part of the field, 1 to the top, 2 running backs in the backfield. There's a snap handoff to number 31. That's Barnes, and he goes nowhere. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, possibly a gain of 1, so it brings up 3rd down and 9 for the Mustangs, who trail this game 21-14 as Fort Lewis leads here in the second quarter.
Well, the number 45 for Fort Lewis, Joey Alvarez, 6', 205 senior from Salinas, California, did a good job in the middle of the line there. He's a linebacker, and he filled that hole and held that last play to a 1-yard gain. Did a good job of stopping the runner and putting them in a long 3rd down position here.
So the Mustangs, with their back against the wall, 3rd down and 9, split 3 receivers to the bottom part of the field and 1 to the top with a running back in the backfield. There's a snap, 3-step drop. He's got a ton of time to throw the ball, and he throws it downfield. Almost caught as number 1, Pompey, was able to get loose from the coverage of number 22. That's Brown. That's going to be incomplete pass, and they're going to have to punt the football.
Well, he's matched one-on-one with Pompey downfield and bumping down all the way down the field and just a little bit over the outstretched hands of the receiver, but one-on-one coverage, that's going to be tough because he's their leading receiver on the season for Western New Mexico. He averages 19.7 yards per catch and 118 yards per game.
So there's the punt. It's going to be caught right around the 23-yard line as Brown's able to shake a couple of tacklers, and then he's brought down immediately. So we'll have 1st down and 10 here shortly. We'll be right back on Sports Stop 930 AM, ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
Inside Durango TV is a founding member of Local First. Introducing the Southwest Colorado Summer Guide, the free magazine with information about where to eat, what to do, and what to see. Pick one up and get the inside scoop on what's going on. From Cortez to Durango, from Pagosa
Have a
Springs to
penalty
Silverton,
on the play.
and everything
That
in
goes
between.
against Fort Lewis, so that's going to
So
take them
pick
back
up
10
your
yards. It gives them first
Colorado
down. And
Summer Guide. This free publication of the Durango Herald is available all over town.
Department of Athletics would like to thank the following corporate sponsors for their continued support: Southwest Ag, Sodexo, Steamworks, and Strader Hotel. Go Skyhawks.
There's a snap, rollout pass from Bayas, who does a smart thing. Nobody open, so he throws it out of bounds and lives to play another down. Incomplete. That brings up second down and 10 for Fort Lewis. We'd also like to remind you that you can listen to us on the World Wide Web at www.radiodurango.com. And Fort Lewis looking to make something happen as they still lead this game 21-14 here in the second quarter, 9:02 on the clock. Receiver to the top, that's Benton. To the bottom is Holt and Bodie. In the backfield's number 16, that's Wesley. There's a snap, fake handoff to Wesley, and Bayas keeps it himself, and he's going to lower his shoulder pads and lets the secondary know, Rick, he's not afraid of contact.
He's not afraid of contact. I'm sort of surprised that number 57 for Western New Mexico did not get a penalty on that Blake Querco, because he came in late when the quarterback was on the ground and sort of led with his head, and that's an area of emphasis this year in the league, in all of football, quite frankly. So that was interesting. He didn't get a penalty.
So you have Jordan Benton, Holt and Bodie, trips to the top. There's a snap, handoff to number 16 Wesley, and he got his legs cut out from underneath him immediately. He does not get the first down, and out comes the punt team for Fort Lewis. And the one thing we haven't seen today, Rick, is they're missing two of their main starters, wide receiver Anderson, number 4, and number 7, Micah Young. Have not seen him at all today.
Well, I know Micah Young, when I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago, he was having some issues that required some additional training or therapy from the trainers. So not necessarily surprised that he's not out there, but I am surprised by the quarterback and by the other receiver that's not out there today.
Big punt caught around the 25-yard line in no man's land. He's still trying to find some room, and he does not, as number 13 takes that catch on the bounce. That's Donald Bird. And that, if you're the special teams coach, Rick, you're having a conversation with your return man, because that's a scary catch he made in traffic.
Well, he's lucky he didn't mishandle that ball and create a turnover for Fort Lewis. That would have been disastrous for Western New Mexico. We have a few other sponsors that we'd like to thank from the College and Department of Athletics: Wells Fargo Bank, Your Running Store, Coca-Cola of Durango, Durango Orthopedic Associates, Mercy Regional Medical Center, Bank of Colorado. Go Skyhawks.
There's a snap, handoff to number 31. He's going to be cut down. Nice penetration by number 44, and penalties come flying all over the field as Reyes is able to get great penetration on the defensive line for Fort Lewis, and that cut the legs out of the would-be runner, number 31, Barnes.
That's holding on Western New Mexico, and that came from the umpire, and literally 99 times out of 100, that's going to be a holding penalty, and that's exactly what it is. It's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So Western New Mexico is going to have the ball on the 15-yard line, first down and 20 to go.
In an effort to bring the Skyhawks to downtown Durango, IDTV with X-Rock 103.5 will showing a preview of today's film game at the Irish Embassy starting at 6 p.m. today. Come down and join the Fort Lewis College players and coaches in watching their game. Just a quick reminder of that. There's a snap, quick throw out to number 1 completed. That's Pompey, and he dives forward after he's hit around the 20-yard line. He picks up another 2 yards, and that brings up second down and 13.
Well, that was just an ISO play on the far side of the field, and they pitch him the ball and see if he can get around the defender. And Fort Lewis had 2 defenders out there, so they did a good job of holding him to, a 7-yard gain, but still second down and 13 or 14 to go, second down and 14, 6:44 in the second quarter.
I formation, 21-14 to score. Fort Lewis still leads this game. There's a snap, quick throw out again to number 1, Pompey, and that is short hopped, about 2 yards too short. But Fort Lewis ready for that play, Rick, as they had great coverage. If he catches that ball, he's going to take a big hit from 2 defenders.
Well, it was the exact same play on the opposite side of the field, and the quarterback, Glassman, turns around and augers it in about 2 feet in front of the receiver. He had no chance of even coming close to that ball. Fort Lewis did a good job with their 2 defenders, number 33, Liato, and number 12, Terry Perkins, and trying to cover that play. But again, the quarterback wasn't even close to the receiver for him to even get the ball.
Pompey and Bird split to the bottom. Number 18 to the top, that's Smith. There's a snap, quick rollout. They're trying to run the screen play, and that's incomplete, and Fort Lewis was all over that. That didn't stand a chance from the word go, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 13, and that'll bring out the punt team.
Well, that was an interesting call, because what they tried to do is fake the play, fake a pass to the left side to their receivers, and then actually throw a screen pass to the opposite side, and Fort Lewis did a great job in sniffing out that play and stopping it for an incompletion. In either way, it would have been a very tough play to get any yardage out of, because Fort Lewis did a good job on defense.
Thaddeus Brown deep to return the kick. That was almost blocked, but it gets away. That's going to bounce right around the 30, past close to the 25, but it's going to be brought down around the 27, so 1st down and 10. At halftime, we want to remind you to stay tuned. We've got an excellent interview, which Rick always gets every week, with the head coach, John L. Smith. What a great attitude change that he's brought here at Fort Lewis College. Has everybody excited, and rightfully so. You see a huge difference in this football team. We'll also have another guest interview at halftime, and that will be with Barbara Morris, the VP of Academic Affairs. She'll join us for a quick 5-minute interview at halftime, so stay tuned. So we got some good things coming to you. 1st down and 10 for Fort Lewis, a receiver to each side of the field, and a running back in the backfield. That's number 16, Wesley. There's a snap, handoff to Wesley. He cuts right back in the middle of the field. And nice shifty running as he picks up 6. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4. And Rick, we have not seen as well number 3, Amory Duncan, at all today.
I think we saw him for 1 series, but I haven't seen him since, and I might be even mistaken. So Fort Lewis obviously having a number of injuries today and having to go with less of a cast of players today, but still playing very well. That last series, or that last down, they had 2 tight end formation, 2 split receivers, and just handed the ball up the middle to Dewan Wesley.
There's a snap, quick throw out, completed to number 19. That's Nova Hardy, and he's got enough for the 1st down as he picks up 6, and that'll move the chains as the clock continues to roll at 5:40. 21-14 is the score. Fort Lewis still on top.
And I don't think we've called his number as a receiver this year. So obviously due to the injuries, number 4, Maurice Anderson, a couple of other players, some other people are getting an opportunity here, and nice catch and nice pitch and catch on that last play for our 1st down.
So Bayas calls for number 80. That's Holt to go in motion. That's Bodie to go in motion. And that's going to be a handoff to the running back, Wesley, who goes forward for 2 yards. So brings up 2nd down and 8.
Well, number 9 for Western New Mexico came in and tried to stop him for a loss. But, Dewan Wesley is so strong. He's a short guy, short being 5'8", 5'9", but he's strong. And he just gave a stiff arm to number 9 for Western New Mexico and was able to get a gain for about 2 or 3 yards when he clearly could have been stopped for a loss in the backfield.
So we're going to have a timeout as Fort Lewis sees something they don't like, and Coach John L. Smith unhappy with what happened as there was a miscommunication with Max Bayas, his quarterback, so he calls him to the sideline to get that worked out. And another quick reminder, you can listen to us live on the World Wide Web at www.radiodurango.com, as well as to remind you that the Athletic Department of Fort Lewis has teamed up with what'shappeningdurango.com to purchase all your season tickets or game tickets online at what'shappeningdurango.com to any sporting event.
Well, there's a good crowd out here today. I mean, the weather's beautiful. It's probably in the 60s, 70s, and the stadium's got a lot of people here watching the game. Good to see, and hopefully we're going to see a good crowd for the rest of the season and come out with a victory today.
So 21-14, Rick and I called a Fort Lewis victory today, but he called it first.
But we'll see. We're off to a good start right now. 21-14 in the second quarter, 4:46, and Fort Lewis is looking good.
2 tight end set, and actually it's really a 3 tight end set as they've got 3 of their tight ends into the football game. Their snap fake handoff rollout to with Bayas gets helmet to helmet hit, and the white hat went to throw his flag as he grabbed it, Rick, and didn't throw it. But it's going to be a completion and a first down completed to number 86, who was a tight end, checked into the game, and that moves them across the 50-yard line.
Well, I was impressed on that play because the quarterback, Bayas, did a good job, even under pressure, getting the ball downfield for a first down to Doyle Bodie. Nice play, and we're at the 46-yard line of Western New Mexico.
You have Hardy, Bodie, and Holt trips to the bottom, handoff to Wesley. He's going to be wrapped up, but not after he gains 2 yards, so it brings up second down and 8 from the 47-yard line.
Well, they're hoping to bust something open on that dive play, and so far they've done a good job of stopping the play right up the middle. Where they've had a difficulty is around the wide sides of the field, a rollout or a pitch to the running backs for long gains. We've got second down and 8 yards to go on the 44-yard line of Western New Mexico.
Same formation. There's a snap fake handoff. He's got pressure from the backside, and he did not see it coming until it was too late, and that is going to be a huge loss, as that's going to be close to 15 yards. So that brings up third down and forever for Fort Lewis College. They're going to mark the ball right around the 44-yard line. So third down and about 22.
Third down and 22, and the left tackle just got beat on that play. It's as simple as that, and quarterback wasn't expecting to see that, and we've got a timeout here from Western New Mexico, but that's unfortunate because the quarterback, that's their blind side, and he just couldn't see the pass defender coming in and tackled him for a long loss. That's unfortunate because it looked like they might have had some momentum to continue their drive going forward.
I want to remind you to stay tuned at halftime as we have Rick O'Block, his interview with head coach John L. Smith. As you've already heard, Rick, interview number 9.
We're through the heart of the majestic San Juan Mountains with San Juan Backcountry Tours. Visitors can get behind the wheel and explore the mountain roads on their own, or sit back on guided tours that take you through the rich history of the area, including the ghost town Animas Forks. You can rent a Jeep, ATV, dirt bike, or we can take you on a guided tour in one of our open-top Suburbans. Enjoy the spectacular scenery from 9,000 feet all the way to 13,000 feet in elevation. The San Juans have many scenic routes and four-wheel drive passes to explore, and our experienced staff can provide maps and suggest the best routes to get you where you want to go. We guarantee you a fun and memorable experience. Come explore the historic sights and beautiful scenery of the San Juan Mountains at San Juan Backcountry Tours.
Football, but I'm shocked how many shots that Bayas has taken to the head today, Rick, and no flags whatsoever.
Well, he was spinning around on that play, and it did look like the defender on that gave him a little bit of an extra push there in the back of the helmet. But needless to say, we got fourth down and 12. Fort Lewis going to punt the ball away with 2:48, up 21-14 in the second quarter.
Number 24, Gallardo here to punt. That was close as it almost got blocked, but he gets a kick away, and what a beauty it is. It's on the ground. That should be a touchdown possibly. Nonetheless, it's going to be a turnover as Fort Lewis gets that ball, and with the fair catch, or excuse me, he didn't even call a fair catch, so the advancement rule in NCAA, they're going to mark that ball down on the 4-yard line, so it should be first down and goal Fort Lewis.
Right, so they're not going to be able to advance a muff, and that's what the call is on that. So normally what happens, if he would have had possession and then fumbled the ball, then Fort Lewis could have advanced it. However, since it was a muff on a receiving of a punt, the defender is not able to advance that ball into the end zone. So that is what a great opportunity for Fort Lewis with 2:35 left in the second quarter on the 4-yard line. Hopefully we can put this in and go up by 2 scores going into halftime.
So you're saying he's got to make a football move. He's got to have possession of it. He does not. So nonetheless, a huge play for Fort Lewis, a big mistake for Western New Mexico Mustangs. First down and goal. Let's see if Bayas calls his own number, as he's done a number of times today already. There's a snap, handoff, fake, and that's fumbled. And I think Fort Lewis just turned the football back over. And that's the tough thing about those read option plays, Rick, as it looked like number 30 wanted to hold on to the football. He does not let it go. And his quarterback, Bayas, wanted the ball. So really, they're both fighting over the football, and it ends up on the ground nonetheless.
Well, that's disappointing because, boy, what a great opportunity on the 4-yard line. And it's unfortunate that they turned the ball over. They could have taken a 2-score lead, but you're absolutely right. I mean, the whole key to this offense is being able to put the ball in the belly of the runner and then make a decision whether or not to pull it out and advance it himself or to give it to the runner or to pass it. And there was just some miscommunication. Again, so far, the quarterback, Bayas, hasn't had an opportunity to work with this first team, and obviously a mistake in communication there leading to a turnover.
That would have definitely been huge for this Skyhawks offense to get it in the end zone. They come up with a big mistake. So we have first down and 10 for the Mustangs. There's the pass completed to number 13. That's Donald Bird. He's got enough for the first down as they moves the chains. Be first down and 10 from the 20. 2:23 left in the second quarter, 21-14, and the clock is winding. Glassman in shotgun formation. He's going to hand it off to his running back. He goes forward for a gain of 3, possibly 4. Let's see where they mark it down. So it'll bring up second down and 6.
Well, they're going to have to put the foot to the pedal here because they got 2 minutes and they haven't done a good job on offense so far. They're both their scores. One's been by a punt return, the other one by a pass interception, and so they're going to have to do some hustle here on offense to get it down in scoring position.
There's a pass completed to number 1, Pompey, and he takes a big shot going out of bounds by number 22, Thaddeus Brown, the cornerback on the coverage, but it is enough for the first down. Again, that'll move the chain, so first down and 10 from the 34-yard line as Glassman still in shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the bottom, 2 to the top. That pass was intended for the fullback / tight end, and number 29, that's Tyler Perez, and Perez is lined up in the backfield on wishbone formation.
Well, when you're hustling down the field like this, everything goes faster, and the key is to make it all go slower. And, the passer doesn't, well, he's lucky he didn't get that picked off, but so everything needs to slow down so you can get your rhythm going, and sometimes people have a tendency to speed up, which creates the ball to be overthrown or short, or the receiver not being able to concentrate because they're worried about getting to the line. And that sort of looks like what's happening with Western New Mexico right now.
That pass was intended for number 4, Darius Guillory, incomplete, and as Rick said previously, he is lucky that was not picked off by number 33, who cut in front of that pass. That's Franco. So 3 receivers to the top and 1 to the bottom, and Western New Mexico is going to call a timeout. They want to talk it over with 1:46 left in the second quarter. 21-14 still the score. Fort Lewis leads this game as Coach Riffalato is going to take the field and talk to his defenders, making sure they get nothing behind them, because we've seen that a little bit up to this point, Rick, is where the receiver
Come check out what's new at the Ute Mountain Casino Hotel and Resort. We now have single and double deck blackjack games. Enjoy our King of the Cage boxing events year-round at our events center. If you're on the go, take a break at the new Ute Mountain Travel Center. With our valet service, you can arrive in style and get right into the action. Visit us for our Saturday prime rib buffet and our seafood buffet on Fridays. With the largest gaming floor in the area, Ute Mountain Casino Hotel and Resort has all
We're going to let the play go. That's incomplete, but something tells me that's going to be a read down for Western, as it should be offsides on the defense with Fort Lewis. The entire front 4 defensive line for the Skyhawks jumped off sides, Rick.
They did, and that's going to make it third down again and 5 to go. Again, it's long yardage, and we can stop them here get the ball back, which would put us in great position to maybe score on our own. But that's just something, it's just concentration, and shouldn't have happened, but it gives them another shot at third down. We would have stopped them because that pass was incomplete.
So the secondary needs to come through yet again as they are in passing downs here for the Mustangs of Western New Mexico. 21-14 to score, counting down towards halftime. Shotgun formation for Glassman. There's a snap, two-step drop. He's got a little pressure. He's going to break the pocket, throws it up, completed to number 13. He's still on his feet as they're trying to rustle him down. That's Bird, but we've got a penalty back here. And usually when the umpire throws that, Rick, it's a hold.
It's going to be a hold for sure. He was looking in the center of the line, and the White Hat's going to make the call right here, and it is holding against the offense. But what was a little concerning on that play, number 13, Donald Bird, who we've mentioned many times today, was one-on-one downfield, and again, the defensive back allowed him to get deeper than him, and had there not been a holding call on that play, they would have been down around the 15-yard line. And so the defensive backs have got to do a better job of not letting the receiver get past them for those long gains and bite on those fake handoffs, because it's going to end up hurting them again if they're not careful.
Shotgun formation now. 3 receivers to the top and 1 to the bottom. Glassman gets the ball. He looks left. Pressure. He's going to be sacked. Fumbled. It's on the ground, and that should be a touchdown. Number 58 for the Skyhawks gets it in the end zone. That's Lane, and what a play that was. A big sack. And that should have been a touchdown, but we'll see what we have here is there's a penalty on the field. What a play, Rick, by number 29, the defensive end for the Skyhawks to make that happen in Sargent.
Well, we've talked about him earlier, Broderick Sargent, and I think what should happen on this play, this is going to be a dead ball play. The touchdown should count. It's going to be a dead ball. It should be a dead ball play, so the score will count. Yeah, there we go. So that's exactly right. So what happens is, since it's a dead ball play, the penalty will be enforced on either the try or the kickoff. And so that's absolutely the right call by the crew. And what happened is that the official was running down the field, and some of the players before Lewis ran on the field interfered with the official trying to cover the play, and that's a penalty by a non-player, and that's why it's a dead ball foul. It happened after the score, and that's why they'll assess it on either, and they're going to assess it on the try. They could have assessed it on the kickoff also.
So 27-14 is the score. They move it back to the 19-yard line, and Rick explained exactly why they had to go backwards. Number 97 coming in to kick the extra point. That's Trigo. He nods that he's ready. There's a snap. The hold. The kick is up. He's got plenty of leg, and that's right down the pipes. 28-14, Fort Lewis leading this game. And really, Rick, it's a 2-touchdown lead, but if Fort Lewis doesn't fumble on their own 5-yard line, we could have a 3-touchdown lead right now.
Well, and if they would have done a better job on special teams, it'd be a shutout. So Fort Lewis is doing a good job, except a couple of mistakes. And what a turn of events. I mean, to have the, Fort Lewis fumble the ball, Western New Mexico start to drive, and then all of a sudden, a sack with a fumble all the way down and get a touchdown. What a great chain of events, and Fort Lewis does end up going up by 28-14 with 1:10 left in the second quarter. Certainly a momentum builder going into the second half in the locker room. We'll see what happens here, but Fort Lewis is doing a good job today of not turning the ball over necessarily very often and capitalizing on the turnovers that Western New Mexico has.
So deep for the Mustangs is number 27, that's Sumter, and number 4, Guillory. Number 97, that's Frazier to kick off deep for Fort Lewis. 28-14 to score. We're getting close to halftime again. I'd like to remind you to stay tuned as Rick will be interviewing the head coach, John L. Smith. We have our special guest, Barbara Morris, the VP of Academic Affairs here as well. There's the catch. Up around the 25, he gets across to about the 27-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 as the Mustangs bring their offense out on the field. And the defense just doing what they need to do and really what they've done all year long, which is to hang in there on the running game.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has done a good job today and really limited them offensively. And, you know, we mentioned that Western New Mexico has not been very prolific running the ball anyway. And they put a lot of emphasis on it today. They still haven't been very good at it. And that's one of Fort Lewis's strengths so far this season.
There's a snap, quick throw from Glassman, completed to his wide receiver. And again, the workhorse really for this offense as that goes to number 13, Bird. And they're trying to get to the line of scrimmage, first down and 10, as that was a gain of 12.
Well, you know, the clock will stop until the ball's set, ready for play. And then it'll start again. And same exact play as last one to their receiver, number 13, Donald Bird. It's just a little short curl pattern. The quarterback dumps it off about 7 yards, and it's up to him to gain the rest, which he did for another first down.
Well, they're going to look to see if he's got enough, so they'll kill the clock. They're going to bring the chains out onto the field and have a measurement. 43 seconds left till halftime. Again, Fort Lewis wearing their Vegas gold helmets, navy blue jerseys with navy blue pants, Western New Mexico. The Mustangs come in with their bright yellow helmets, white jerseys, bright yellow gold pants. I'd like to remind you, you can listen to us on the World Wide Web at www.radiodurango.com, as well as get your season tickets as well as game tickets on what'shappeningdurango.com. Filming of today's game is brought to you by Inside Durango TV, the Skyhawks official sports channel. Watch today's game and other Skyhawks game on your local cable channel 15.
Fort Lewis College Department of Athletics would like to thank the following corporate sponsors for their continued support: CJ's Diner, Durango Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad, Durango Motor Company, Morehart Murphy Regional Auto Center, Inside Durango TV, and First National Bank of Durango. Go Skyhawks!
Well, Rick, they didn't have enough for a first down. They missed it by about 6 inches, so second down and short. Still passing situation. There's a snap, two-step drop, throws it out, completed again to number 13.
That's a fumble.
To Bird, and let's see what they call this. They call him down.
Yeah, they did call him down. Looked to me like that ball might have been coming loose as he was headed to the ground, but regardless, it's going to be first down for them at Fort Lewis's 41-yard line with 33 seconds left, and Fort Lewis is up 28-14.
No replay here for us here at Fort Lewis or the officials, so that'll move the chains. Two receivers to each side of the field. A running back in the backfield, that's number 31, as it's been most of the day. That's Barnes. There's a snap from Glassman, two-step drop. Almost intercepted, as that was in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, number 1, Pompey, and then number 12, the cornerback, Perkins. I think it just caught up on him. He was quite surprised.
He was surprised. I mean, he hit him right in the grill, right in the face mask. And again, I think that's one of those things everybody was in a hurry because there's only 27 seconds left, and the quarterback overthrew that ball and right through the hands of the receiver and the defender.
So there's a snap, two-step drop. He's got some pressure, does Glassman. He throws it up for grabs deep. Nice coverage on the outside by the cornerback, number 43, as the ball was intended.
That's Dakota K, and we mentioned him earlier. He's done a good job. He did a really good job last year. And Dakota K is a sophomore from Cayenta, Arizona, 5'8", 180 pounds. He did a good job on that play, holding up the receiver for that incompletion. He's only a sophomore, so he got a lot of playing experience last year as a freshman.
He did indeed, as that ball was intended for number 13, Bird. There's a snap, steps up in the pocket. Now Glassman's going to run around. There's a flag on the play, and Coach Riffalato showing his cornerbacks how you catch the football as he sticks his hands out. All hands on that ball thrown out of bounds, as it was intended for number 12 and incomplete. That's Michael Ball.
Well, what's going to happen, there's going to be holding from the spot of the foul on number 74, Michael Coe. What happened is that Broderick Sargent, who's having a great game today, was coming around and beating number 74, Michael Coe, and was going to have a sack. and Michael stuck out his hands, spun Broderick Sargent around, and White Hat saw that clearly as a hold, and big penalty on that third down.
13 seconds left, possibly 2 plays in the book. There's a snap thrown across the middle. That was completed as the clock continues to roll. Now they're going to blow it dead. Call a timeout from Western New Mexico as that was completed to number 13, Donald Bird. And they get all of the yardage back plus some, as it will now be 4th down and long. And the Mustangs will talk this over. They've only got 1 shot to the end zone pending a defensive pass interference. So I'm sure Coach Riffalato will throw all of his defenders deep.
Well, we've got 6 seconds left in the half, and Fort Lewis is up 28-14, and he just wants to make sure that nothing goes deep. You know, it doesn't matter. There's only going to be 1 play. There's 6 seconds left. So it doesn't matter where they go into the field as long as they don't let it by them.
And the one thing we haven't talked about, or at least on the radio, but you and I did before the game, how beautiful this field looks compared to what it looked like 2 weeks ago, Rick. It was nasty.
Yeah, I didn't think it would recover at all, and the crew here has done an amazing job. I mean, the field looks great. Beautiful day, probably 65 degrees, great crowd. Fort Lewis is playing well, and the field is absolutely great. You're absolutely right. So they're going to go for a long field goal. This is going to be a 57-yard field goal, and we've watched this kicker warm up, and he can easily kick this ball from 57 yards.
And he's got the wind to his back to help him out. So Josh McIntyre to attempt. There's a snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it's going to be short. This can be taken out, and he will, as number 2, Campbell, will do just that. He's still on his feet, but we've got penalties all over the places. There's probably a holding by number 29 as he brought down number 78. That's Sargent tackling number 78 on the return of the Mustangs. That's Costello.
Yeah, what's going to happen on that play is number 12 for Fort Lewis, Terry Perkins, had an illegal block, and so he blocked below the waist. That's a major penalty. So you're not able to block below the waist unless you're in the free blocking zone. So this is the call right here. And again, block below the waist. No harm foul because it's the end of the half, and Fort Lewis goes into the locker room leading 28-14. Good showing by Fort Lewis going into halftime. So we got some good momentum.
Well, and it could be a lot worse than that, but nonetheless, they go in with a 2-score lead here. And we'll be right back. Again, stick with us. We have our John L. Smith, head coach of the Skyhawks, interview, and our special guest, the VP of Academic Affairs, and Barbara Morris. So we'll be right back on Sports Stop 930 AM ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
For me, being here at Fort Lewis College, I grew more than I grew.
Can you hear me just fine?
I can't.
Okay, so that's what we'll hear.
3 different countries. They offer this thing called an Innovative Month. There's several Innovative Months actually offered every summer where professors take students and they go study abroad in a different country. One of the countries that I traveled to with Fort Lewis College was India. We actually did a 5-day silent meditation, which was intense. We got to teach English to some Tibetan refugees who wanted to learn English, which was humbling, so humbling. We actually even got to see the Dalai Lama, and he led us in a meditation, which was extraordinary. It was just the most amazing trip. I was fortunate enough to travel to France, and we did an archaeological excavation there for a month. It was the most phenomenal experience. I did 7 upper division credits. We got to excavate, travel around France, all sorts of cool stuff. For me, it was the most amazing thing to be able to touch something that I was like, wow, someone used this 800 years ago. I'm in the middle of France excavating this. Who would have thought like I could do this? And it was so affordable. I mean, I helped pay for it with scholarships and financial aid, and then I worked as an RA, and I used that money too that I saved for room and board. So I never thought I'd be able to do that, but it was so easy and amazing.
So why did I leave a research university to come to Fort Lewis? I was teaching 535 kids at a time in freshman chemistry. And it was not my idea of an ideal undergraduate education. So I decided that I wanted to go someplace smaller. I wanted more personal contact with my students, and Fort Lewis College fit the bill.
The thing I enjoy the most about small classes is the one-on-one with the professors. If you need any additional help, you can go in their office hours and they can help you out. I've gotten a lot of additional help through faculty outside of class. I'm really involved with student activities throughout the college, and so I can go to them with questions about what do you think about this event, and they give me their opinion. And you can stop by all the time and ask them questions.
We know our students very, very well, and that's, I think, what sets this place apart from many other places. Some of my former students have become my best friends. They're all over the country. We create a bond here that is lasting, and there's nothing better.
Hi, I'm Dr. Richard Fulton, Director of Teacher Education at Fort Lewis College, and I'm here to tell you about our Teacher Leadership Graduate Program, which will offer both a master's degree and a professional certificate. As you know, we need strong teacher leadership in the Four Corners to sustain important, meaningful reforms that are going to make a difference in our culturally diverse area. Why should you choose Fort Lewis College for your graduate studies in education? Because it is the most personalized program in this region. We have relevant coursework that'll have an experiential component that'll allow you to research important issues in your own classrooms, your own schools, and your own communities. Having faculty at Fort Lewis College be your primary instructors is a great benefit. All of our faculty are involved in the schools on a regular basis. They know their content and they're willing to share all of this information and strategies to produce better schools in every single course. Our specialized hybrid course format is perfect for full-time working educators. Our courses are specifically designed to meet in person in the evenings when we can share ideas as professionals to professionals, supplemented with online assignments that will be both individual assignments and group assignments that you will be able to bring back to our face-to-face meetings as a way to just build on the knowledge and skills that you'll be developing in this program. So, if you want to make a difference in your classroom, school, and community as a teacher leader, contact us at Fort Lewis College in the Teacher Education Department.
I've worked with Engineers Without Borders here at Fort Lewis College, implemented a total of 5 projects out in the field. So I've actually completed 1 project in Thailand, 3 projects in Laos, and then 1 project in Ecuador. When you learn about the stuff in the classroom, it's theoretical, and you actually go out and see a working water system after you've actually completed it and built it. That's absolutely rewarding, and practicality is just unlimited. Dr. Lori Williams and Dr. Don May, they're the ones who really have run Engineers Without Borders for all these years, and they've been a huge help. They've really been mentoring me in water system design and sustainability. I was looking online really for a job that kind of required you to be outdoors. I wasn't looking for a job that I would be stuck in a cubicle. With all my experience with Engineers Without Borders, I've done a lot of work outside and outdoors. I applied for field engineer with Baker Hughes, and I got the job.
A lot of the activities that are available for Fort Lewis students, there's unlimited hiking, skiing, mountain biking, pretty much anything you can associate with the outdoors, we have it here. So not only do they have everything here, but it's an amazing place for the Four Corners because you're just outside of that desert landscape to where, it cools off a little bit in the mountains. So, your long backpack trips up in the high country are perfect, and yet you can still get away in the winter and spring and get out into the desert where it's a little bit warmer. A huge thing that's played a part in my school here, as well as a lot of my friends, is the outdoor pursuits, where you can, pay a once yearly fee and you can rent anything that they have anytime.
I love Durango. I've always loved Durango because there's so much to do in this small town, and it's really, really great because you just get to learn about people and meet so many different people. Every person that I've met in Durango has been very, very nice. They're very friendly, outgoing, upbeat, relaxed. There's not a lot of stress here, and it's really relaxing. It's a relaxing vibe, and it's great if you're going to school because schools can be stressful, and the community kind of brings you and centers you back to a normal, just level-headed life.
There are lots of advantages to living in residence halls. The biggest thing is convenience. Because you're right there on campus, you can wake up 5 minutes before you go to class.
There's a wide variety of student housing here at Fort Lewis College. We have 8 residential communities, 6 residence halls, and 2 apartment complexes. I chose the more traditional style so I can build a great community base and have lots of different people to talk to. I could have chosen a different living arrangement and gone with the suite style. That appeals more to the students who want more privacy. But since I came here by myself, I wanted the whole college experience, getting to know my neighbors and really being a part of their lives.
We have a unique opportunity. We live here on campus with the students in one of the residence halls. The position that I feel is called a faculty in residence position, and is basically a chance for students to interact with professors outside of the classroom.
There are a lot of places to eat on campus. The most obvious is the student union. You buy a meal plan and then you can go in, and for dinners you can eat basically whatever you want. Then you have Animus Perks, which is a great little coffee shop, snack area. And you have the Rocket Grill up here, which is really great. You can get good burgers, wings. The wings are excellent, by the way. This is the Sky Card. You'll use this for meals. You can upload cash onto this, get stuff from the bookstore, get stuff a la carte from any of the coffee shops around here. And this is basically your link to all the good stuff on campus.
Fort Lewis has so many organizations on campus for students to get involved with. They offer a wide variety of RSOs on campus for any type of student, any type of club, anything you're passionate about, you can find something.
At Fort Lewis, I've been involved in different RSOs, Registered Student Organizations, Student Senate, United Students Through Wellness. My biggest reason for joining student groups is just to meet people. I came here not knowing really anyone, jumped into a group and just met tons of people right away.
The Environmental Center is a registered student organization that really is in charge of trying to bring sustainability to the campus. I help to oversee all the media and communications part of the Environmental Center, and we have a radio show on KDOR, and we also have a column on The Independent, which is FLC's magazine.
Leadership Center is kind of the hub for different RSOs to go to when they need supplies, organization, forms, guidance, etc.
I think it's huge that you get involved, because if you don't get involved, you're never going to get to experience anything.
I chose Fort Lewis for a variety of reasons. Because I knew that I was going to major in business, I liked that they had an international option. Students have a lot of flexibility to combine programs through majors and minors, double majors, and double degrees. I have a major in international business as well as Latin American Spanish. I chose these majors because I thought it would open doors in a way that I could enjoy traveling as well as maintaining a successful career. The programs are led by PhDs who are recognized in their fields and top-ranked, measured by accreditations, faculty publications, and honors, alumni outcomes, and employer testimonials. I am more sure about my future than I ever have been, and I think I couldn't have done it without Fort Lewis and the guidance from the professors and the classroom style that we have here.
FLC has some great nationally ranked teams. We have women's and men's soccer, women's and men's basketball, just to name a few. What I like best about being a student athlete is that you get the benefits of getting to play something you've always liked to do, as well as get a great education for it.
It's more than just the sport, you know, it's a social aspect of being on a team and having that bond, you know, to carry you through not just the season but the rest of the school year as well.
The athletic facilities that we have here are very nice. We have our beautiful gym that we have had many victories in, and we have a fantastic soccer field where we have two great soccer teams that fight away and do their work.
It's a lot of hard work, and it's extremely rewarding once you put in your 4 years and looking back and have that sense of accomplishment, knowing that you tried your hardest and you got a lot out of it.
On game day, we get some great fans coming from the community as well as our students. They come in and they're loud, and the more fans we have, the better we play. And so game days are really exciting for us. Go Skyhawks!
Whether you make your plans over a barbed wire fence or over wireless internet, if you're coming from the stockyard or the stock exchange, Durango is right at home at the Diamond Bell, timeless and timely.
It's full steam ahead at the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. Enjoy a historic trip through southwest Colorado's rich scenery with daily train excursions through the spectacular San Juan Mountains. See the world-famous 400-foot drop at the High Line. Relax as you chug along the Upper Animas River and spend an afternoon in the historic mining town of Silverton. Stop by the depot or call 247-2733. Get more information on our website at durangotrain.com.
You're watching Inside Durango TV, the greatest television show in the history of time.
One of the things that we promise every guest at Durango Motor Company is one low price, plain and simple, always.
When our guests come on the lot, they get to see our best price hanging clearly in the window of every vehicle on our lot. They can just come in, select the vehicle that they want, and already know the price up front.
Buying a vehicle should be a great experience, and that's what we provide. And taking care of our guests means one low price, plain and simple, always.
Meet Dan. He owned a dog biscuit company, but Dan wanted more, so Fast Signs created a plan to raise Dan's business visibility. Now Dan has more sales, more stores, more of the good life, and more is what Fast Signs delivers. More than fast, more than signs.
The local pub is a tradition dear to the heart of any town. Durango's local pub is the Irish Embassy, a favorite with locals for breakfast, dinner, or just a pint with friends. With a traditional Irish menu and all your favorite brews on tap. The Irish Embassy, Durango.
For natural and organic vitamins and supplements and health and beauty products, there's no better place than Nature's Oasis. We offer an experienced staff, nutrition and supplement education, and exclusive products. Nature's Oasis, home to the largest selections of vitamins and supplements in the Four Corners region.
Visit the scenic James Ranch in the Animas River Valley and enjoy lunch or dinner at the Harvest Grill and Greens. The menu is based on a seasonal supply of organically grown James Ranch products. The Harvest Grill and Greens at James Ranch, 10 miles north of Durango.
Inside Durango TV uses 100% green power.
Go underground with the Old 100 Gold Mine Tour, a fun and exciting look at gold mining in Silverton. This is an authentic gold mine, and the tour includes a train ride and mining demonstrations. The Old 100 Mine Tour runs 7 days a week with hourly tours, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pan for gold and silver as long as you like, and keep what you find. Take a scenic drive north to historic Silverton and the Old 100 Gold Mine Tour.
Come in! Welcome to the Durango Area Parade of Homes, opening Friday, September 27th. Friday night kicks things off with romantic Homes Under the Stars parties. Then tour parade homes all weekend to discover amazing architecture and fresh ideas for your home. One $15 ticket grants you access to all events for 3 days. Participants could win a full set of kitchen appliances, a granite countertop, or other great prizes. So come join us for the 10th Annual Parade of Homes. The Sporting News Grill at the new Holiday Inn and Suites of Durango is now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Featuring a full-service restaurant and bar with 11 HD TVs, it's a great venue for family and sports fanatics alike. The Sporting News Grill. Stop in and let us show you our game face.
It's time for rejuvenation with luxurious healing waters, breathtaking views, and lavish spa treatments at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs. Stay at the new EcoLux Hotel and enjoy 24-hour access to our 23 unique pools by the river. Indoors, relax in the hotel and enjoy therapeutic services at the spa. It's time for rejuvenation at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs.
Inside Durango TV is a founding member of Local First. Introducing the Southwest Colorado Summer Guide, the free magazine with information about where to eat, what to do, and what to see. Pick one up and get the inside scoop on what's going on. From Cortez to Durango, from Pagosa Springs to Silverton, and everything in between. So pick up your copy of the Southwest Colorado Summer Guide. This free publication of the Durango Herald is available all over town.
Visit the scenic town of Silverton and take a Jeep tour through the heart of the majestic San Juan Mountains with San Juan Backcountry Tours. Visitors can get behind the wheel and explore the mountain roads on their own, or sit back on guided tours that take you through the rich history of the area, including the ghost town Animas Forks. You can rent a Jeep, ATV, dirt bike, or we can take you on a guided tour in one of our open-top Suburbans. Enjoy the spectacular scenery from 9,000 feet all the way to 13,000 feet in elevation. The San Juans have many scenic routes and four-wheel drive passes to explore, and our experienced staff can provide maps and suggest the best routes to get you where you want to go. We guarantee you a fun and memorable experience. Come explore the historic sights and beautiful scenery of the San Juan Mountains at San Juan Backcountry Tours.
Today, Dad's moving into Sunshine Gardens.
We're all really excited.
You sure are a hit around here. Woo!
And once he's settled in, I'm sure he'll come out of his shell.
I hear they even have a happy hour. How about that?
Oh, I think he's gonna like it here just fine.
You know, honey, I think you're right.
Being interview Mr. Rick O'Block gives every week with head coach John L. Smith.
On Cable Channel 15.
You know, Rick, we've talked about, a new era, a new start here, fresh start here at Fort Lewis College, and what better way to see what's happening with that, with the stands packed from corner to corner, which we haven't really seen in probably the last 3 years.
Well, I mean, ever since you and I have been doing this, we haven't seen, I bet, a third of the stands full, and here we are on this beautiful day, the field's looking great, and we've got a packed house, people are energetic, the team is energetic, everybody's all jacked up, it's great to see. The band is out here, and it's just great to see all the people watching the game, and Fort Lewis is certainly providing them with a lot of entertainment today as they're up to start the third quarter 28-14 over Western New Mexico University, and they're going to receive this kick in the second half. And hopefully we can put a drive going and get another score here and go up 35-14. Coach Smith is on the field talking to the officials, trying to probably get some clarification on what some of those calls were, because there were a couple calls that were a little iffy.
Dan wanted more, and fast signs provided more. Fast Signs help with digital displays, mobile marketing, merchandising, fleet graphics, and more. Now Dan has more sales, more locations, more of the good life. And more is exactly what Fast Signs delivers. More than fast, more than signs, more than 530 locations worldwide.
It's Tuesday and Thursday evenings during the Skyhawks fall and winter sports. I'd like to remind you can listen to Rick and myself live on the World Wide Web at www.radiodurango.com, as well as purchase your season or game tickets of any sport here for Fort Lewis College on what'shappeningdurango.com. We're going to have a kickoff. Deep to return the kick is number 5. That's Amory Diggs. He's lined up inside his end zone. The kick's going to be kicked short right up at the 5. He touches it, and then he misses it. So when we come back, we'll have first down and 10, Fort Lewis. Be back shortly on Sports Stop 930 AM ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
Fans, give it up to your Fort Lewis offense.
First down and 10 as Bayas is going to step up into the pocket. He throws it to his tight end, who's got all day to run. And then he's going to remind the secondary what's going to happen if they try to step up and put a hit on him, as number 85, Berryhill, has a first down and more, gain of 36 yards on the pass reception.
Well, he was not the primary receiver. He's out in the flats, and the quarterback is scrambling around and see him wide open. And I'll tell you what, he just blew up number 7, Nicholas Cook. Tried to make a tackle and knocked him out of bounds, and Berryhill just stood up like it wasn't even. He was a bug on a windshield at that point.
Great analogy. As there's a handoff to number 16, Wesley. Again, Wesley, the running back for the majority part of the day. We have not seen Amory Duncan today. Rick said he's seen him once. I don't even see him on the sideline right now, but nonetheless, it's been Wesley all day long, who's the leading rusher as well as the leading scorer for Fort Lewis. And you're right, Rick, there he is down there on the field, but we haven't seen him. I'm not sure if he's injured. There's a snap, 3-step drop, throws it across, tipped at the line of scrimmage. A diving attempt by the slot back, number 80. That's Bodie, incomplete, second down and 10.
Well, just go over a couple of halftime stats here. Max Bayas for Fort Lewis, 9 for 13 with 1 pick, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns with a 65-yard long pass play for a touchdown. Glassman for Western New Mexico is 9 for 21, 90 yards, the long of 14 and 1 touchdown.
There's a snap, 3-step drop. He's looking for a slot catch right there by number 80. Bodie, who almost got away. He got tripped up from behind. He's close to a first down, but he doesn't have it. He picked up 10, but Fort Lewis had third down and 11, so it's going to be 1 yard to go, and Fort Lewis keeping their offense out on the field.
Well, number 7, Nicholas Cook, who was destroyed by Berryhill earlier, did a great job of shoestring tackle because number 80 for Fort Lewis, Bodie, would have just gone for a long gain, possibly a touchdown on that play. 4th and 1.
There's a snap handoff to the running back, Wesley. What a cutback that was. And you can chalk up that first down by just the running ability by DeJuan Wesley, as he was going to be hit in the backfield. What a ankle-breaking cutback he had.
And this is interesting because Fort Lewis is doing a hurry-up offense, and this will go to their favor for sure.
There's a snap throw out here completed to number 81, Jordan Benton. He gets tackled. Nice tackle by the covering cornerback, number 7. That's Cook, able to wrap up Benton.
Well, for the first half, DeJuan Wesley had 11 attempts for 46 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, which is off his season average of 5.8. But still a very, very good half for him, and he's just proven how valuable he is game after game after game.
Third quarter in the second half, 13 minutes, and still running. 28-14 is the score. Durango Fort Lewis College leading this game here in Durango. There's a handoff to Wesley as he's going to gain 3. So that brings up a 3rd down and short, 3rd down and 2.
Well, Western New Mexico for the first half had 46 yards rushing, which is their season average per game. So you could tell they were obviously trying to keep the ball out of Fort Lewis's hands and control the tempo. And although they've gained some yards, they're obviously not very prolific at the running game.
Benton in motion. They're going to roll out Bayas. He throws it. I don't know if he had this caught because he looked like he caught that out of bounds. He went to his knees as that ball was thrown low, Rick, from Bayas to number 80, Bodie. And Bodie just went to his knees, but unfortunately his feet were out of bounds.
Well, he was out of bounds. It was a good pitch and catch. Unfortunately, he was out of bounds, and we're going to go for a field goal here, and it looks like it's going to be about a 40-yard field goal for Fort Lewis. Connor Frazier, and he's got the leg to do it. I mean, the wind is still not to his face or at his back, and we have number 13, Trevor Bonifaci, holding.
There's a snap to hold. The kick is up, and it looks like that's good. And it is. And he missed a big-time field goal almost from the same spot last week that would have made it close to a 7-point game. He splits that through. So 31-14 your score. We'll be right back here on Sports Stop 930 AM ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango. Welcome back after that huge field goal kick by number 97, Connor Frazier, to put up the Skyhawks 31-14, 12:43. Rick, you called it before the game. You actually said it before I could that Fort Lewis would win today, but they would win big, and they are giving this full packed house quite the treat today as deep back to return for the Mustangs is number 27, that's Sumter, and number 20, that's Perkins. And Perkins is going to take this right around the 5. He crosses the 10, the 15. He's still in the middle part of the field. And he's going to be brought down. And that guy came out of nowhere. So we'll have a first down and 10 when Rick and I come back on Sports Stop 930 AM ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
Fans, let's hear it for your defense.
Welcome back as that's a handoff to the running back number 25, Marcius, and he's got his legs cut out from underneath him, but not after he picks up 3 yards, so 2nd down and 7.
Well, one of the players we've mentioned several times today is number 29 for Fort Lewis, Broderick Sargent, and he's just done a great job. He did a great job of penetration and stopping the run for a short gain on that play.
There's a snap to Glassman. He's going to be sacked. And he was almost hit. As soon as he took the snap, Rick, he's able to gain his composure and drop back. And from his front side, he just did not see number 35 come in. That's Ryan Ross, and Ross just drops him.
5'11", 220, Ryan Ross from Colorado Springs. He's a junior, and Fort Lewis has a number of young players on this team, and I think the upside for them, not only this year, but certainly going forward, is going to be terrific. That was a great play by number 35, Ryan Ross, linebacker for Fort Lewis College.
Marcia still in the backfield with his quarterback Glassman. There's a snap, 3-step drop. The pocket collapses, but he finds his running back just leaking from the backfield. Nobody picks him up, Rick, and he just finds his way right around. He just comes out straight through the middle of the line, and it's going to be close to a first down, but I don't think he's got it.
Yeah, he just leaked out of the backfield, and normally somebody will be keying on him. He just got away from everyone, picked up about 12 yards, but he's still short. It's going to be fourth down, and they're going to punt here, which again will give Fort Lewis great field position. And I just can't be complimentary enough of the way the defense is playing today. They've done a really good job. Glassman is a good quarterback. They've done a good job of containing him and certainly containing the running game.
Well, no surprise with the Riffalato coach defense. There's a snap. Fake. It's a fake punt, and they're going to have enough for the first down and more as they caught Fort Lewis's special teams sleeping. So nice call, big risk, but it works. And that'll move the chains for Western New Mexico as their offense will stay out on the field first down and 10.
Had they been able to stop that, that would have been just a dagger for Western New Mexico. They did a good job of making the right call at the right time, picking up the first down. They sort of have to. I mean, 31-14, they're down by 17 with 10:20 left in the third quarter. They need to get some momentum here and get a score quickly on the scoreboard.
So Glassman goes under center as he started so much start this game, and he hands it off to number 25, Marcius, and he goes forward for 6. So that brings up second down and 4.
Well, they put a man in motion, and they actually faked the handoff to the man in motion and gave it to the guy up the middle for about 6-yard gain. It'll be second and 4 from the 41-yard line of Western New Mexico University.
So the Mustangs break huddle, I formation in the back, and Glassman calls for a different formation, so the tight end will go in a motion to the left side. There's a snap, handoff to number 25 again, as he's going to be close to the first down, at least where the head lineman has it marked. It's short, but let's see where they mark down number 25, Marcius.
Well, I think it's going to be a little bit short. The linesman on the far side of the field had the spot, so they're going to give it a first down. I personally, for me, it looked like it was short by about half of a yard, but Coach Smith is definitely chewing in their ear a little bit.
Yeah, I don't blame him for doing just that, because you had both of the the head linesman and the line judge saying that he was short, and then the white hat just steps in and says first down. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. There's the handoff. Almost had him in the backfield. He sheds 2 would-be tacklers. He's finally knocked out of bounds, but not after a gain of 7. So second down and 3 for Western New Mexico, Rick, and again a few missed blocks in the backfield. Few missed tackles in the backfield.
Yeah, they could have had him for a loss there and whiffed on a couple plays, and Coach Smith talks about tackling and wrapping up. They put a lot of emphasis on that, and certainly the defense overall does a good job, but on that particular play they did not.
There's a snap again, handed off to number 25, Abraham Macias, and he's going to get enough for the first down. Now that one is no question about it, as the first down marker is right around the 46-yard line, and he gets down to the 44, so first down and 10.
Well, this is a good drive for Western New Mexico. They've maintained good possession of this and run the ball, a couple pass plays, but basically they're trying to control the game here and keeping Fort Lewis off the field and tire down the defense a little bit. But if we can come up with a stop, that would help our cause a lot.
Play action. There's a throw deep down the field. He's got a step touchdown. Number 13, Donald Bird, and they have attempted that throw at least 4 times today. They have had no luck with it, and it's coming back as we have a penalty on the field. I don't know if it's going to be a late hit personal foul against the defense, as number 10, Glassman, the quarterback, picked himself up off the ground. But what a touch on that pass to number 13, Bird, Rick.
Well, we've mentioned Bird all game long. I mean, he's one of their top receivers, him and Pompey, and he's done a good job today. It looks like we're going to have a personal foul roughing the passer on Fort Lewis, which will it'll keep the touchdown. That was a great play. Number 22 for Fort Lewis had one-on-one coverage, Thaddeus Brown, and had very good coverage. I mean, that ball was thrown perfectly in the outstretched arms of Bird for that touchdown. And this is exactly what Western New Mexico needed in order to try and get back in this game, was a long pass play and touchdown to make the score 31 and probably 21 after this try.
McIntyre nods he's ready. There's a snap, the hold, the kick is up. It's right down the middle. And 31-21 is a score. Fort Lewis still holds on to a 10-point lead with 8:08 left in the third quarter. And we'll be right back here with the kickoff on Sports Stop 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango. Huge play for the Western New Mexico Mustangs as they have a long touchdown pass from their quarterback Glassman to their star receiver number. On that personal foul, roughing the passer penalty. Let's see if they try to onside kick here. Who knows?
I was just thinking that. I mean, it's interesting you thought that because, you know, they're kicking from the 50. It's got to go 10 yards. That's the 40. So, I mean, they might just try an onside here, which they do.
And it doesn't go anywhere far enough. And Fort Lewis players need to get far away from the football. I don't even understand the thought process with that, as a number of Fort Lewis players come running up to the football, Rick. If they touch that, it's a live ball.
They do, but here's an interesting little factoid that I'll share with you. I get giggles after I say factoid, but what happens is if the ball doesn't go 10 yards and the kicking team touches it first, the receiving team can pick it up, and even if they fumble, they get the ball where the ball was first touched by the kicking team. So that's why Fort Lewis was sort of gathering around, hoping that Western New Mexico would touch the ball so that they would get an opportunity to pick it up and run with it. You certainly don't want to touch it before that, but it's an interesting little call, and most people aren't aware of that. So again, if the kicking team touches it first, then the receiving team can pick it up, and even if they fumble, they're still going to get the ball where the ball was touched first by the kicking team. Now, if there's a penalty and they fumble, then they're in big trouble, because then the ball can revert back to the kicking team on the recovery of the fumble if there's a penalty on the receiving team. It gets a little complicated, but in any event, Fort Lewis is going to take this ball. They got great field position at the 48-yard line of Fort Lewis, and boy, what a great opportunity for them to move the ball down the field. I'd like to see them get Berryhill involved in this game again. He's a load, boy. He just pummeled those guys down the field, and again, he's a tight end, number 85, Drew Berryhill. He's 6'5", 265. He's a junior, and somebody tried to tackle him. He just laid him out like a bat in a ball.
Well, the other tight end that we have not seen today that we've seen a ton of in the last two games is number 23, Jordan Van Vliet. So nonetheless, first down and 10 for the Skyhawks. There's a snap, handoff to Wesley, who tries to turn the corner. He has a nice cutback, and he's going to gain 4, so brings up second down and 6. And we'd like to remind you, today's game is being filmed by Inside Durango TV and broadcasted live on the America One website. Go to www.america1.com for viewing information. And on that note, we'd like to thank a few people.
We would. The Fort Lewis College Department of Athletics would like to thank the following corporate sponsors: Coca-Cola of Durango, Durango Orthopedic Associates, Mercy Regional Medical Center, Bank of Colorado, and CJ's Diner.
There's a snap, and the quarterback, Max Diaz, is going to get buried by the defensive end, number 9, Dante Sellers. And again, Rick, that's 2 sacks for Sellers today as he's come in unblocked.
He's a good player, and he came unblocked, just like you said, on the outside. And unfortunately, now it's going to be third down and about 14. And Fort Lewis needs to be careful here not to make any mistakes and give more momentum
to Western New Mexico. They're up by 10, 31-21 with 7:02 left in the third quarter. They need to put together a solid play here, if nothing else, just to get the ball down the field.
Bayas can do just that as he has a swing out pass to his running back Wesley, and there is all sorts of defenders around him. He's going to pick up 7 yards, but not near enough for the first down, so surely that'll bring out the punt team for Fort Lewis and a few more people we'd like to say thank you to.
We'd like to say thank you from the College Department of Athletics to the Durango Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad, Durango Motor Company, Moorhart Murphy Regional Auto Center, Inside Durango TV, and the First National Bank of Durango.
So deep back for the Mustangs is their star receiver, number 13, Donald Bird. There's the punt. Nice high, and he's going to get very far away from it, and that's a great punt as it stays in bounds. The ball hit around the 7-yard line, and it comes back towards the bigger part of the field, and it's brought down around the 16-yard line. So deep in their own territory, the punter for Fort Lewis, that's Gallardo, able to pin them back, Rick.
Oh, that was a great punt. He turned it over. There was no way that they were going to run that ball back. And Fort Lewis is going to, again, great field position deep in their own territory at the 16-yard line. First down and 10. 6:06 left in the third quarter, 31-21. Your Fort Lewis Skyhawks are ahead.
Our Fort Lewis Skyhawks.
Our Fort Lewis. I'm a Fort Lewis alumni. It's our.
As well as my wife, and so there's a snap, fake handoff by the wide receiver who goes in motion, and that's handed off to number 25, Marcius, who we've seen in the game for this entire second half. It was number 31, Clevon Barnes. I'm not sure if he's injured, but number 25 taking over the duties, and he gets 3 yards, so second down and 7.
Well, I mean, Fort Lewis has been stout against the run all day. I mean, as of midway through the third quarter, they only have 73 yards rushing. So Fort Lewis has done a good job. Fort Lewis has 108 yards rushing, 180 yards passing. So Fort Lewis is doing a good job so far holding them to short gains on runs.
Under center is Glassman. He calls for his wide receiver number 14 to go in motion. It's a fake handoff to him, handoff to number 25, Marcius, and now the umpire throws in a flag around the area of where Marcius was brought down.
Preliminary indication by the umpire to the white hat referee, the holding on Western New Mexico. This is going to push them back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
The one thing we haven't seen a whole lot of today, Rick, and you spoke to head coach John L. Smith about this, is penalties against his team. They have not hurt themselves a lot on big plays thus far in this game.
Yeah, Fort Lewis only has 2 penalties for 24 yards, so they've done a good job. On the other hand, Western New Mexico, that's their 9th penalty for 77 yards. That's hurt them. Killed a couple of drives for them. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, but certainly not as tight as what they would like. Fort Lewis has done a good job of not getting penalties, which has helped them a lot.
Clevon Barnes checks into the game. His quarterback, Glassman, looking at Pompey in single coverage to the bottom part of the field. Instead, he completes it to number 13. Again, Bird. And Bird was hit right around a gain of 4, but the cornerback does not wrap him up, Rick, and he makes him pay as he gets another 6 yards, so that brings up third down and 4.
Number 33, Liato for Fort Lewis, could have held him for a short gain. Now we've got third down and 5 to go on the 21-yard line of Western New Mexico.
Glassman sends number 13, Bird, in motion. There's a snap, quick throw out, incomplete, nice coverage, and it's going to be pass interference as the ball was intended for the big tight end of the Mustangs, number 80, Caffeine, and incomplete, but that should be a first down on the pass interference from number 43, Dakota.
Well, Dakota K was wrapped all around the tight end there, unfortunately, because he really didn't need to be. That ball was overthrown. I don't know if they're going to wave this off because it's uncatchable. It doesn't look like it. They're certainly talking about it, but there is no way that that receiver could have ever caught that ball. There's no reason for Dakota K to touch him. I mean, he had his arm around him, and clearly, had it been
a catchable ball, it would have been pass interference. So we'll see what the white hat has to say here. Yeah, so they're going to go ahead and call pass interference. And, I mean, it was the appropriate call. Didn't need to happen. That's the thing. Dakota K did not need to touch that receiver. No way he was going to catch that ball.
So that'll give the Mustangs a first down and 10 as they trail this game 31-21. Fort Lewis on top by 10. 4:20 left in this third quarter. I'd like to say thank you once again to Barbara Morris, the VP of Academics Affairs, as she came in, a lovely young lady taking care of that for Fort Lewis College. They've got some exciting things moving forward. And we've got I formation for Western New Mexico. There's a handoff to number 25. That is Macias, and flags come flying in from everywhere. Did you see what the call is?
I did not see what's happening there. So I know the game's getting a little chippy. I've seen players sort of push back and forth and get in each other's face a little bit, but I do not know what this penalty could be. It came from two different areas. Came from the side judge and from the umpire. So certainly probably some kind of sideline thing. Oh. So number 2, Jamal Campbell, got called for a personal foul. I didn't hear what it was, but that's a big penalty, and that's unfortunate because that's a 15-yard penalty. First down. It's going to put the ball on the 45-yard line of Fort Lewis. They need to tighten up here, Albert, and they need to not make mistakes. Stop this team at this point. Don't give them any more yardage. Keep them out of the end zone. They're only up by 10. 4:06 left in the third quarter.
I formation for the Mustangs, number 40, that's Martinez, the running back, Macias. There's a snap fake, handoff, throwing it downfield. He's open again, intercepted. If he can hold on to it, is number 12 for Fort Lewis. That's Terry Perkins. But Rick, he had his intended receiver open, number 1, Pompey, and he just throws it short.
He did. I mean, that was a post pattern, one-on-one, man-to-man coverage. And number 12 for Fort Lewis, Terry Perkins, 5'8". We've talked about him several times today. He did a great job of closing on that play. And, I mean, that was his ball to intercept the whole way. And Fort Lewis has got the ball right now at the 4-yard line. And we'll see if they can pound this thing out here. We've got number 16, DeJuan Wesley, in the backfield. And I'm sure they're going to try some running plays here so they don't make a mistake deep in their own territory.
So there's a snap to Bayas as he does just that, hands it off to his sure-handed running back Wesley, and he gains a small amount, yardage of 1, so it brings up second down and 9.
Well, we've got Fort Lewis up 31 to 21 late in the third quarter, 3:30 left. They've got the ball on the 6-yard line. The key here is don't make any mistakes. Get some first downs would be wonderful. Don't make any mistakes, which they've been prone to do earlier in games this season.
Protect the football, 2 tight end formation as they hand off, fumbled, and then picked back up. The quarterback, Bayas, again, holds the ball in the stomach of his running back, Wesley, a little too long, and when he comes to pull it out, Rick, he drops it on the ground, but he's able to recover it, so 3rd down and 5 for the Skyhawks.
Oh, that could have been deadly. That could have been deadly, down on your own 5 or 6 yard line and fumble the ball right there. But the quarterback, number 11, Max Bayas, did a good job of seeing where the ball was at, not getting panic, pick it up and run for a couple of yards. We've got 3rd down and 6 to go.
Let's see if they hit the tight end Berryhill, who checks into the game. And we're going to have a penalty as the defense is pointing in the backfield. They're saying Wesley moved, and I'm thinking the head linesman is going to agree with them. That penalty may be moving Fort Lewis back, and that's exactly what happens. Matter of fact, Rick, I was watching him, and I thought it may have been the quarterback as he's moving his shoulders as he's calling the cadence.
Well, you have to be very careful there. They're trying to draw the defense offside, and sometimes the quarterback can be called for that. And that's exactly what happened in this situation. We've got 3rd and 10 from the 5-yard line for Fort Lewis. They're trying to get their formation set. But what I see on the outside is I got cover 2 where they're going to cover each deep man
with the safety on each side.
There's a snap, two-step drop, throws it out of bounds. And I'm not sure if the quarterback Bayas just panicked, Rick. He had plenty of time to throw the football. Great coverage. The pocket did not collapse on him, and he just airmails it over here on the side of the sideline.
Well, I think he was so concerned about not making an error that he erred on the side of conservatism and threw the ball out of bounds. But you're absolutely right. He had plenty of time in the pocket. Now, whether or not something would have developed, who knows? But, you know, in earlier games, Fort Lewis had a propensity to maybe throw that ball into traffic and get a turnover. Certainly not what you want to do down here. So better to err on the side of being conservative and not making an error turnover. And here we have the punt for Fort Lewis, another great punt.
Beautiful punt by Gallardo, number 13. That's Bird's going to take it around the 40. Looking for Sarum. He cannot find it. And when we come back, we'll have first down and 10 for the Western New Mexico on Sports Stop 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango. Welcome back. That's a first down handoff to the bottom part of the field, and we're going to have a holding penalty, Rick, against Western New Mexico, and that's going to push them back. A few people would like to thank while they're assessing this.
Well, Fort Lewis College Department of Athletics would like to thank the following corporate sponsors for their continued support. We have the Durango Herald, Holiday Inn and Suites, Irish Embassy, A&L Coors, Alpine Bank, Bank of the San Juans, Best Western Rio Grande, Blimpies, Comfort Inn, and the Hampton Inn. Go Skyhawks. We have first and 20 with 1:46 left on the 37-yard line of Western New Mexico. That was a costly penalty for them.
So I formation for the Mustangs. Glassman calls for his receiver to go in motion. That's a handoff to number 14. He was the motion receiver. Nice gain of 5 on the play. Doesn't get him back to the original line of scrimmage, though, so that brings up second down and 13. And this defense needs to come through with a big play with a minute 20 left, Rick. 31-21. Fort Lewis leads this game.
Well, we need a big play. We need a big stop. And, you know, Glassman's a good quarterback. He's obviously shown he's got a big arm, can throw the ball down the field, and we really need to put the brakes on these guys. They've had the ball for the majority of the second half so far, and you know, we don't want the defense getting tired. We want them fresh in the fourth quarter.
I formation for the Mustangs. There's a snap handoff to number 25, Macias, and he almost breaks loose, Rick, but number 2, Campbell, able to stretch out his arm and trip him up. If he doesn't do that, Rick, he's able to turn the corner. That could be trouble.
Now, that would have been a long gain. That would have been a first down, and Jamal Campbell did a good job of recognizing the receiver in the hole and stopping him for about a 4-yard gain. We've got 3rd and 8 on the 47-yard line, 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
2 receivers to the bottom part of the field, 1 to the top. There's a snap, 3-step drop. There's nobody open, so he scrambles out. It's going to be a first down completion to number 13, Donald Bird, and that's going to move the chains, gain of 12, and they've got to get that figured out, Rick. I mean, they are keeping him in front of them, but this guy is having a big day for Western New Mexico.
Well, he is. I mean, he's a good player, and he's one of their top receivers on the season. He's having a good game today. In that situation, you can't give that much cushion to the receiver, and number 22, Thaddeus Brown for Fort Lewis, gave a little bit too much cushion to the receiver on that, and that's the end of the third quarter, up 31-21.
Fort Lewis leads this game. We'll be right back on Sports Stop 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
Fort Lewis College President Dean K. Thomas and the Skyhawk Pep Band under the direction
Go, you Skyhawks, go, you Skyhawks, good, strong, help.
You're watching Inside Durango.
Durango Motor Company is one low price, plain and simple, always.
When our guests come on the lot, they get to see our best price hanging clearly in the window of every vehicle on our lot. They can just come in, select the vehicle that they want, and already know the price up front.
Buying a vehicle should be a great experience, and that's what we provide. And taking care of our guests means one low price, plain and simple, always.
Meet Dan. He owned a dog biscuit company, but Dan wanted more, so Fast Signs created a plan to raise Dan's business visibility. Now Dan has more sales, more stores, more of the good life. And more is what Fast Signs delivers. More than fast, more than signs.
Making a tackle for a 1-yard loss.
There's a snap handoff to number 31. That's Barnes. He takes a big hit after that play. He's going to gain 2, so that brings up 3rd down and about 9 as Fort Lewis, if you're just joining us, leading this game 31-21, the start of the 4th quarter.
Well, Fort Lewis has done a good job today, and hopefully we can stop them here. I mean, like we said earlier, the second half, Western New Mexico has really controlled the game clock here, which puts the defense out on the field for a lot longer than what we would like.
There's a snap, play action pass looking downfield. He's got a receiver open, and he's able to break away, and he's going to get into the end zone on a missed tackle. That's number 1, Pompey. And what a huge play that was for Western New Mexico, Rick. And again, another missed tackle by Fort Lewis's cornerbacks.
B.J. Newman, the great play that he made on the play before, was a bad play, missed tackle. Should have had him in the open field there, and he missed him. And the guy goes in for a touchdown. And Bird and Pompey have done a good job today. Bird has 7 receptions for 111 yards. Pompey, before that play, had 3 for 32, and they both have a touchdown now.
McIntyre with the extra point try. There's the snap, the hold, the kick right through the middle. And this game is 31-28. Fort Lewis leads. We'll be right back with Sports Stop 930 AM ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
The Irish Embassy, a favorite with locals for breakfast, dinner, or just a pint with friends. With a traditional Irish menu and all your favorite brews on tap. The Irish Embassy, Durango.
Second half, and the offense has got to do something, and I don't know if it's a time to get conservative and try and run the ball. They didn't have good field position for sure, but they've got to do something offensively now to get some points on the board.
There's a kick, number 5 deep. That's Diggs. He takes it around the 3-yard line. He crosses the 10, the 15, tries to cut back. And we're going to have a penalty coming in. The flag thrown in about 20 yards down the field. So as they're getting that worked out, we'll take another quick break, and we'll come back with Sports Stop 930 AM ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
On the return team, half the distance, first down.
Welcome back. 31-28 to score. Fort Lewis leads this game. Rick, that penalty went against Fort Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, so far, just to let you know, we've had 15 penalties for 148 yards, and now, you know, where Fort Lewis did a good job, all of a sudden they're starting to mount up for Fort Lewis.
There's a snap, roll out, looking to pass. He gets blasted, does the quarterback, number 11, Bayas. And that pass is incomplete, Rick. He took a big shot.
Well, he took a big shot by number 42, Segura from Western New Mexico. That was a big hit. It was good to see that they weren't being conservative. You know, they're trying to get some momentum back, and we're second down and 10 on the 9-yard line. We'll see what Fort Lewis does on this play. Number 3, Amory Duncan, is in the game for Fort Lewis.
There's a snap, fake handoff, and Bayas is going to keep it himself. He's going to try to turn the corner. He's not able to. He stays in bounds as they keep the clock rolling, and it is going to be a manageable third down, about 3rd down and 5. I'd like to remind you, filming of today's game is brought to you by Inside Durango TV, the Skyhawks official sports channel. Watch today's game and other Skyhawks game on your local cable, channel 15.
Well, on that play, the quarterback rolled out, and had Bodie made a block downfield, that could have gone for a first down.
There's a snap, and that's going to be a sack as Bayas is looking for somebody downfield. He's not able to find anybody, and his looking downfield was long enough to let the linebacker for Western New Mexico get in. And Fort Lewis goes 3 and out again on their 3rd possession of this 4th quarter.
Well, hopefully we can get a good punt here. The wind is his back. A little bit of wind there is to his back. And if he can knock this out of here. Fort Lewis defense, like we said, has been on the field a long time. And Fort Lewis has got to do something here on defense to stop these guys.
There's the punt. It was close to being blocked, but he's able to get away. A beauty. Number 13, Donald Bird. He's going to catch that around the 35. So let's take it back to the station. We'll be back at Sports Stop, 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
For natural and organic vitamins and supplements and health and beauty products, there's no better place than Nature's Oasis. We offer an experienced staff, nutrition and supplement education, and exclusive products. Nature's Oasis, home to the largest selections of vitamins and supplements in the Four Corners region.
Welcome back. There's a snap, handoff to the running back, number 25. That's Messias, and he's going to gain 4, so it brings up 2nd down and 6.
Well, Fort Lewis has got a man up here, and they've got to stop this running game. You know, that's not something that Western New Mexico has done very well this year. But so far this game, they're starting to rack up some yards. They have 94 yards rushing before that, so close to 100 yards rushing, which is over double what they've been getting this year so far. Fort Lewis needs to clamp down on that.
Shotgun formation. I formation. Under center is the quarterback Glassman. He hands it off to number 25, who's cutting and weaving and making all the room he can for himself. And Messias, and again, over pursuing on the defensive line for Fort Lewis, Rick. They're overrunning this running back, and he's just cutting back and making extra yardage for himself.
Well, he's been patient. He's done a good job of identifying where the holes are. He picks up a first down. They've got first down on the 45-yard line of Western New Mexico.
2 tight ends set, a receiver to each side of the field, I formation in the backfield. There's a snap by Glassman, handoff to Macias. There's going to be a penalty that should be a holding, and that will be helpful for this defense of Fort Lewis, as that was a gain of 8.
It would be interesting to see how many holding penalties we've had today. I mean, we haven't been keeping track of that, but clearly in the center of the line, there's been some issues. It looked like the umpire was talking to the lineman, how he had his arm out and hooked the defender to open up that hole. That was a big hole, and now we know why, because the interior lineman was actually holding to open that hole. And Fort Lewis has got to make a stop here. You know, 1st down and 20. They've got to keep the receivers in front, and they've got to make sure they don't give them too much of a cushion. We can see right now that on this side of the field, there's at least a 15-yard cushion to the receiver.
1st down and 20, looking downfield, a throw and a catch to number 1, and now that they're going to tack on a face mask at the end of the play, number 22 of the Skyhawks, that's Thaddeus Brown on the coverage. He grabs a face mask. That throw was caught by number 1, Pompey, and we'll see if that comes up with a 1st down or not. But again, Fort Lewis not helping themselves out on either side of the football, Rick.
Well, again, there was way too much cushion. 15-yard penalty on top of it, so that gives them about 20-yard gain on that play. It's going to be a 1st down, 25-yard gain on that play. And Fort Lewis just seems like they're a little self-destructing a little bit here. What are we going to do in order to change that momentum? They are now down on Fort Lewis's 39-yard line, 10-33, 31-28 lead.
I formation in the backfield. There's a snap, handoff to number 34, who checks into the game. He's going to be hit for a loss, and the handoff went to Sanders, but the defense gets in, and they're going to lose 2 yards, so that brings up 2nd down and 12 for Western New Mexico.
Joey Alvarez, number 45 for Fort Lewis, did a good job. He's a linebacker, and he cuts to the middle of the field, goes through the hole, and drags him down for a 2-yard loss. I'm wondering if Fort Lewis is going to start taking some more gambles on defense to try and put pressure on the quarterback and the running backs, doing a little bit more blitzing, maybe safety blitzing. We'll see what they do here, but certainly on that play, number 45, Joey Alvarez, did a good job of stuffing the hole and throwing him for a 2-yard loss.
There's a snack play action pass. He's looking downfield, and the pocket collapses, and he gets sandwiched right around the 44-yard line. They might mark it around the 43, and that's exactly what they do, and that was a big play by Fort Lewis's defense.
Well, they did exactly what we just talked about. Number 43, who's a cornerback or a defensive back for Fort Lewis, came on the blitz. They had to cover him, which opened up Cody Miles, linebacker, to throw that sack, and now we've got 3rd down and 19. Again, big play. We can't make a mistake. We've got to hold him here to get that ball back.
We need a big open field tackle. Look for number 13, Bird, as they surely will be looking his direction. Glassman gets the ball, 3-step drop. He's going to scramble. The pocket collapses. He's going to be run down from behind, and he goes out of bounds.
No.
Let's hope we don't see a flag. We're okay on that one, so it's going to bring up 4th down and long, as every one of us, Rick, we're holding our breath as they brought down the quarterback, Glassman, about 2 yards deep out of bounds.
Well, he was scrambling to the right side of the field of the Fort Lewis sideline, and number 56, Derek Wetzel, looked like he was a little bit late on that. That was interesting that they didn't throw a flag, but no harm, no foul, and Fort Lewis does get the ball back. It's going to be deep. You know, that we're kicking from the about the 47-yard line of Western New Mexico, so hopefully this ball will go in the end zone. We'll get the ball at the 20-yard line.
Number 22, Thaddeus Brown, deep. Nice punt, high spiral. He gets away from it. Thaddeus Brown does, and that goes into the end zone. So when we come back, we'll have 1st down and 10, Fort Lewis on Sports Stop, 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
Visit the scenic James Ranch in the Animas River Valley and enjoy lunch or dinner at the Harvest Grill and Greens. The menu is based on a seasonal supply of organically grown James Ranch products. The Harvest Grill and Greens at James Ranch, 10 miles north of Durango.
Pass attempt
Welcome back, as there's a pass intended for number 80 and dropped Doyle Bodie, but we have a penalty on the field, and is it going to be a personal foul late hit? I'm not sure.
But we have the line judge talking it over with the white hat, and what happened is once the receiver, number 80 for Fort Lewis, Doyle Bodie, dropped that ball, it looked like there was a little bit of a late hit after the play was over, and so the offensive players for Fort Lewis are signaling downfield, and here's the call from the white hat today.
And that's exactly what it is, a personal foul. We'd like to remind you, you can listen to Rick and I live at www.radiodurango.com. You can purchase your tickets or season tickets as Fort Lewis has teamed up with what'shappeningdurango.com.
That was a big play. I mean, that's a 15-yard gainer right there on a sort of a dumb play by the defensive back. There was no need for him to hit that player once that ball was not caught.
Bodie in motion, handoff to Wesley as he cuts back. There's nothing there. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That brings up 2nd down and 10 as they had nice pursuit on the defense. Few people we like to say thank you to.
So the Fort Lewis College Department of Athletics would like to thank the following corporate sponsors. Papa Murphy's and Subway at Walmart, Southwest Ag, Sodexo, and Steamworks. Go Skyhawks.
3 receivers to the bottom part of the field. That's Benton, Bodie, and Holt. There's a snap, 3-step drop. Looking for Holt. It's caught as he's diving forward, trying to get near the 1st down. And he picks up 7. So it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3 and an manageable 3rd down and 3. We'd like to remind you, Skyhawks pre-recorded games can be viewed anytime on DurangoTV.com and on cable channel 15 all day Sunday, as well as Tuesdays and Thursday evenings during the Skyhawks fall and winter sports season.
Well, this is a big play. We got 3rd down, about 2.5 or 3 yards. We'll see if they go conservative or they actually try and pick this thing up via the pass. They've got double tight end formation, so they might just try and power this thing. Western New Mexico's done a good job with DeJuan Wesley today.
And he's got an open receiver. It was the tight end, number 86, who got through the coverage, overthrown as the quarterback, Bayas, throws off his back foot, doesn't get a nice enough touch on the football, and that's going to be 4th down, and the punt team will come out onto the field.
Well, that was Cole Maupin, and what a great pattern, what a great call, just a little bit overthrown by the quarterback. But that's what you like to see. You know, let's be aggressive on this thing and try and pick it up. We've got 4th down now, Fort Lewis punting the ball.
Gallardo with the punt, number 13 deep to receive it. That's Baird. He does not call, Bird. He does not call a fair catch signal, and he gets blasted, but we have a penalty as soon as the ball was snapped.
I'll tell you what, that hit was by the backup quarterback, Trevor Bonifaci, and he leveled him. We're going to see here we have a penalty. I don't know. Oh, we've got a double penalty.
Well, I'm thinking they've seen the same thing on each side of the field.
So they didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage, which is a very unusual call for a punt play. But it is what it is, and it's going to be 5 yards added on to that play. But let's talk about the hit by the quarterback, backup quarterback.
Big one.
Number 13, Trevor Bonifaci. That kid laid the lumber on the receiver as soon as he caught the ball. They're going to have him re-kick, which is interesting. They're going to have him re-kick, and we'll see what Fort Lewis does here. But, you know, kudos to number 13. You know, you don't really see quarterbacks being like tough guys. He ran down there and hammered him, put him on the ground. He's lucky he didn't fumble that ball. That was a great, great tackle by number 13, Trevor Bonifaci.
Yeah, very risky catch on the punt. We've seen that a number of times. We've seen that actually last week in Las Vegas when their punter fumbled the football. So there's a snap. The kick almost blocked. He gets it away. An even better kick this time as number 13, Bird, catches it. He's going to try to get to the top part of the field and turn the corner, and he's hurdling over people, and he's got nobody in front of him. Number 85, there's a fumble on the play, but what a strange occurrence happened on that play as number 2 had a clear shot at taking Bird down right around the 20-yard line, Rick, and he goes low, and Bird just hurdles him.
He did. I mean, what an athlete. I mean, Bird has had such a great day. He's got 8 receptions for 110 yards, 13.8-yard average. And here's Fort Lewis, on their 47-yard line, Western New Mexico, up 31-28, 6:49 left. We'll see what Fort Lewis does here.
I formation in the backfield. Glassman under center. He's got a receiver to each side of the field, including a tight end. There's a snap handoff to number 25. That's Macias, and he's only going to get a gain of 1, so that brings up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, Joey Alvarez, again, linebacker, had a good shot at catching him for a 2 or 3 yard loss in the backfield and missed, but still we held him to a 1-yard gain, 2-yard gain. We've got 2nd and 8 from the 45-yard line, 6:26 left in the game. Fort Lewis leading 31-28.
Defense needs to come up big here and hold this offense down. There's the snap pass completed and caught to number 80, the tight end for Western New Mexico. That's Coffin, and it makes it a much more manageable 3rd down, Rick. We talk about getting yourself in manageable 3rd down, so they got 3 yards to go here.
3rd down and 3 from the Fort Lewis 40-yard line, and I would imagine even if they don't make it, they might go for it anyway. That was just a little sit-down pattern by the tight end about 5 yards downfield and waited for the ball to come to him, and the quarterback did a good job of getting it to him.
In the backfield, I formation with the fullback 39, Brown to the left. There's a snap, handoff to Macias, and Fort Lewis is going to stop him short about a yard. So that brings up 4th down and 1, and I agree with you. I think they should call a timeout here and talk about this as the running back Macias' helmet came off. He's got to go out for a play, and I agree with you, meaning that I think they will go for it on 4th down. Their defense has done a great job by keeping Fort Lewis's offense idle.
Well, one thing Fort Lewis needs to make sure they don't do is jump off sides. So don't go for the head fake, don't go for the hard count. Let's just stay in our spot, jam the middle. They've got number 31 for them, Cleavon Barnes, back in the on the field of play. Quarterback keeper, fumble.
Yes. Fumble recovery, Fort Lewis. And that was a great play. And I'm not sure what happened in the middle of it as I look down to look at my stats and the ball squirts out in the middle of the field. And Fort Lewis takes over on a huge 4th down fumble. But this game is far from over yet, Rick, as Fort Lewis has had 4 possessions and they've gone 3 and out all 4 times.
Well, and guess who comes up with the fumble? Number 29, Broderick Sargent. He has had a huge game today. Several tackles, sack, fumble recovery. He's playing really, really well today. That's number 29, Broderick Sargent. Fort Lewis gets good field position on a 36-yard line. 4 minutes and 48 seconds left, up by 3. We'll see if they go conservative or they try and air it out again, get some more points on the scoreboard.
The running back Wesley in the backfield with his quarterback Bayas. There's a snap fake handoff there. He's going to roll out, flushed out of the pocket, and he throws it out of bounds. He was out of the way from tackle to tackle, so this should not be a question of him throwing an intentional grounding penalty. He was by far out of that box, so it should bring up 2nd down and 10 as they talk about it.
Well, the ball has to get to the line of scrimmage, which it clearly did. So good job on the part of the officiating crew to get that call correct. We've got 2nd and 10, and it's good to see Fort Lewis still being aggressive. I like to see that. Hopefully they can get a 1st down here. We got 2nd and 10 on the 36-yard line for Fort Lewis.
Benton going in motion. There's a snap. Fake handoff keeper from the quarterback Bayas, and Western New Mexico was expecting that play as he was brought down by 4 or 5 defenders. That brings up 3rd down and long.
3rd down and long. We've got 3rd and no gain on that play, so 3rd and 10. We'll see what Fort Lewis does here. They bring in another tackle, number 64 for Fort Lewis, Robert Carlson.
They got 3 receivers to the bottom. That's Benton, Holt, and Bodie. A tight end with Berryhill. There's a snap. Rolls out with Bayas. He throws it completed to number 80, and he's got enough for the first down. He takes a big hit out of bounds. He was 2 yards out of bounds. No way was he here near in play.
Well, that was just a dumb play. Number 26, Chris Thulin for Western New Mexico hits Bodie out of bounds. Not only did he get the first down, now he's going to get 15 yards on top of that, which is going to put him down by around the 35-yard line of Western New Mexico. And that's just something you don't want to do. You don't want to make those mistakes late in the game. Fort Lewis is going to be on the 37 of Western New Mexico for a first down. 3:57 left in the game. 1st and 10, up 31-28. Hopefully we can do something here and run a little clock out, get a couple more first downs, and maybe get a touchdown.
Holt and Bodie split to the top. Number 86 checks into the game. That's Maupin at the tight end position. There's the handoff to number 16, and he's stopped immediately. Matter of fact, he's going to lose close to 4 yards on that handoff, as they had that expected all the way from the defensive line.
Well, we had double tight end formation. I want to go back to the play before, because that was a tough pass that was made by Max Bayas to Doyle Bodie, and great pitch, great catch for a first down, and then the penalty. But now we've got second down and about 13-14 to go.
2 running backs in the backfield. There's a snap, handoff. It's going to be a reverse if he can get loose to the corner. And what an open field shoelace tackle that was by number 20 as he dives out there. Brandon Perkins able to trip up number 5 Diggs, because if he doesn't, Rick, he is off to the house.
Oh, that would have been a long gainer, and good play by number 20 for them, Brandon Perkins. He's a junior defensive back, 5'10", 180 pounds. Did a good job on that play. We've got 3rd and long now, 3rd and 14.
81 Benton, single coverage to the bottom. Holt and Bodie, 80 and 88 to the top. There's a snap. He's going to keep it. Does Bayas. Nice cutback. If he could turn the corner, this might be something. What a play that was, as he gets the ball and he just tucks it. As he looked downfield, he could not find anything open, and the defensive coordinator for Western New Mexico come running onto the field trying to call a timeout. They need to try to conserve all the time they can, but what a great play that was by the quarterback, Max Bayas.
No, that was a great play, and he did a good job. He didn't panic in the pocket of starting to collapse, looked downfield, and boy, did a great job of recognizing the open field, made a defender miss him. Fort Lewis is down on the 9-yard line with 2:23.
The Sporting News Grill at the new Holiday Inn and Suites of Durango is now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, featuring a full-service restaurant and bar with 11 HD TVs. It's a great venue for family and sports fanatics alike. The Sporting News Grill. Stop in and let us show you our game face.
It's time for rejuvenation with luxurious healing waters, breathtaking views, and lavish spa treatments at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs. Stay at the new EcoLux Hotel and enjoy 24-hour access to our 23 unique pools by the river.
Associates.
Benton late getting onto the field. He's set as he's in single coverage. 2 tight end set. There's a snap, handoff to Wesley. He's trying to find some room in the middle of the field. And Rick, in weeks past, that has been Wesley's big spot to run right in the middle of the field, and they've just had that covered. We've got a timeout, so we'll take one of our own. We'll be right back with Sports Stop, 9:30 a.m. ESPN Radio for the Four Corners in Durango.
Indoors, relax in the hotel and enjoy therapeutic services at the spa. It's time for rejuvenation at the Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs.
Inside Durango TV is a founding member of Local First. Introducing the Southwest Colorado Summer Guide, the free magazine with information about where to eat, what to do, and what to see. Pick one up and get the inside scoop on what's going on. From Cortez to Durango, from Pagosa Springs to Silverton, and everything in between. So pick up your copy of the Southwest Colorado Summer Guide. This free publication of the Durango Herald is available all over town.
Visit the scenic town.
Hopefully 38-28 with 2:09 left in the game. What a great call. You think that they would run the ball 3 times, kick a field goal, but no, they go for the touchdown on 2 consecutive pass plays. The extra point is good. Fort Lewis goes up 38-28. But that's a gutsy call. And, so many times you see teams get conservative when they get leads, and Fort Lewis didn't do that. It was great to see. Happy for the team. That's a great call by the coaching staff up here in the press box. They were all excited. I don't know if you saw them, Albert. They're jumping up and down and giving high fives to each other. So really, really great call.
I think the unique part of this Fort Lewis team this year is in 2 different segments. To me, is last year we were never ever close in a game, really, except for one. That was the opening game here against New Mexico Highlands, and after the second half, it just got blown wide open. But the unique thing to me here this year is not only are they keeping it close and they've already won a game, which we didn't do last year, they're holding on to leads when they've got them, Rick. So that shows a ton of fight in this football team, and as you said earlier, they lead this game 38-28.
Well, I asked Coach Smith that question during one of the interviews. When we beat Southern Baptist University, I asked Coach, I'm like, did you ever get the feeling that the team was afraid to win? Because they hadn't won. It'd been, 11, 12 games since they'd won. Hadn't won on the home turf in over 2 years. And Coach said, it's up to us as coaches to tell the team that they're good enough to win and to convince them that they can win. And that's certainly what happened today. They could have really gotten nervous, made some mistakes, but instead they go down and score and go up by 10 with 2:09 left.
Here's the kick. It's a deep one as number 4 is back there. That's Guillory, and he's going to take it out of the end zone. He passes the 15, the 20, still on his feet. Couple of missed tackles, and they're going to bring him down right around the 27-yard line. So we'll have first down and 10 from the 27. And Rick, it's not only just being able to hold on to the lead. They would have made some big mistakes and continue to make big mistakes and never recover from that last year. They're not doing that this year.
Exactly right. I mean, what Fort Lewis has been plagued by is a lot of turnovers, and what's happening for them is just the opposite today. They have 5 turnovers. Fort Lewis has only made 2 turnovers, which is great to see, and the defense has played hard.
There's a snap, and that is thrown about 6 yards too short for the intended receiver, number 4. That's Darius Guillory, so that brings up second down and 10. And we'd like to remind you, today's game is being filmed by Inside Durango TV and broadcasted live on the America One website. Go to www.america1.com for viewing information. And there's the snap, 2-step drop thrown out, completed to number 13 as he's brought down. That's Donald Bird, and Bird's having a huge day today as he picks up 9. And hopefully, pending some crazy stuff happening, Rick, few sponsors we like to thank once again.
Well, we certainly want to thank Mercy Regional Medical Center, Bank of Colorado, CJ's Diner, and Durango Silverton Narrow Gauge.
There's the pass again, thrown too short as it was intended for number 1, Pompey, and it's incomplete. That would have been enough for the first down, so now it brings up 4th down and 2. And if the defense stops him here, Rick, it is over.
It is. Boy, what a great win for Fort Lewis. I don't know if you can hear the crowd over the microphone, but packed house today and getting a lot of support from the fans.
There's a snap, the throw, big hit. And I don't know if he held on to it. That's what they're going to look at, and he does. So it's first down. That'll move the chains, but number 13, Donald Bird, paid for catching that football.
Well, number 22, Thaddeus Brown, put a lick on him. He's lucky he didn't get a penalty for hitting him in the helmet. But, yeah, they pick up a first down, and here they go on 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line.
And that pass was caught. Tough throw as the quarterback, Glassman, had to throw it across his body, completed to number 12 as he had to go up. Nice coverage on him. That's Michael Ball, and that's a first down and 10 from the 47, 48-yard line. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to each side. The clock continuing to roll as it goes down under a minute. Almost picked off. Number 33 was right there for the defense. The ball was intended for 18, Marcus Smith, but Rick, 33 just did not time his jump.
He didn't, and we talked about this earlier. As the game winds down, they speed up, and everything seems to happen in fast motion, and the ball was overthrown, which was what happened at the end of the first half also.
There's the snap, 2-step drop. He's got some time, steps up into the pocket. He dumps it off, and that's completed. Gain of 8 to number 12. That is Michael Ball. Under a minute going off of the clock as they're trying to get back to the line of scrimmage.
I'm a little bit surprised they're not calling a timeout to conserve some time here.
There's a snap looking deep. He throws it out, completed, and then dropped. Number 18 had it in his hands. That was Marcus Smith, and then he just drops it after he gets hit by number 12, who was on the coverage for Fort Lewis. That was the corner, Terry Perkins.
Well, I think he was trying to make a football move after he caught it, before he caught the ball, and good play by Fort Lewis. 40 seconds left. We're up by 10 in the 4th quarter. Looks like we're going to come away with a win, which is going to be big for Fort Lewis. Coach Smith talks about winning on your home court, on your home field, and that looks like what's going to happen today.
Somebody's going to go 2-2. Somebody else is going to go 0-3, and that's going to be the ball game as we still have 37 seconds left on the clock. But Fort Lewis, all they have to do is snap it one time, and this football game is over. And Fort Lewis, Rick, could not be more proud of this football team as you and I hung with these guys all year last year. And it's no disrespect to those football players last year, that coaching staff, but we were nowhere near close to winning any of those football games. It's an amazing thing to say we are 2-2.
2-2 and 1-1 in the conference, which is huge. We're going to take a victory formation here. Some stats here.
It's just great to see the players hugging each other. And
they're pretty excited down, and why shouldn't they? I mean, come on. After what they went through last year, they've done a great job this year of being prepared and taking this thing home for a victory today, 23 seconds. Looks like they're talking to the players about this victory formation. It's been chippy a few times here.
Well, Western New Mexico, I believe, called a timeout. That or something's wrong with the clock. They keep pointing at the clock. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I didn't see anything wrong with the clock. So
it can't be the clock operator, I can tell you that.
It's not. We work next to them, so we know it's them on the field.
Yeah, that clock operator, that guy's dialed in. I mean, that guy is like a border collie with sheep right here.
And that will do the game, Rick. Fort Lewis College, the Skyhawks, win this game 38-28 over Western New Mexico and the Mustangs. And what a great job they did. This was a tough fight, a tough battle today. And the impressive thing to see is Fort Lewis come away with this win, and I couldn't be more prouder of this football team.
I mean, boy, for me to see this is great. I mean, watching the program for so many years and really not perform. It's been years since they've performed at a level where they can even think about competing at a conference level. Next week's going to be a test. You know, we go to Pueblo next week, CSU Pueblo.
Make sure to participate in this year's Journey of Hope 5K Family Run and Walk at Mercy Regional Medical Center. All proceeds from the event go to the Journey of Hope Fund, providing free mammograms to women in our area who cannot afford them. New this year is the Colors for Cancer 10K Trail Run. Proceeds from this race support the Mercy Cancer Center's efforts to fight all forms of cancer that affect our community. The 19th annual Journey of Hope is October 5th, so register today at Mercy Health Foundation's website or call for more information.
Meet Dan and his dog Bongo. They started their own dog biscuit company, but Dan wanted more. So Dan worked with Fast Signs. They created a plan to attract more customers, get more business, wag more tails. Still, Dan wanted more, and Fast Signs provided more. Fast Signs help with digital displays, mobile marketing, merchandising, fleet graphics, and more. Now Dan has more sales, more locations, more of the good life. And more is exactly what Fast Signs delivers. More than fast, more than signs, more than 530 locations worldwide.
Inside Durango TV is locally produced by Fastboard Media.
And if you guys wouldn't mind, take me through the one long touchdown you guys had there early. Where were you able to kind of find the separation you did, and what were you looking for on that?
I mean, well, I was just going through my reads, trying to sell the fake first, and reading low to high, and I saw the corner jump on the out, so I looked deep, and Holt was wide open all alone. I hit him.
And how about from your end?
My perspective, I just hit my post route, saw the safety drop down underneath, saw Max in the backfield and hitch and load, and just try not to get caught from behind, get in the end zone. Worked out well.
I guess I like to ask, how about the fourth quarter? You guys are down there, 9-yard line, 8-yard line, and maybe 5-yard line, 2 pass plays into the end zone. Up by 3, you could have easily run the ball 3 times, maybe control the clock. How'd you feel about that?
I mean, I thought that we were being aggressive all game, and I thought we should have kept it up, especially when we want to finish the game and shut them out and just let them know that we wanted to win that game as bad as we wanted to.
Was he the primary receiver in that
yeah.
call?
It's going through the read, but yeah, he's one of them.
How'd that feel?
I felt fantastic. Felt great. That first one was I dropped that one. I felt a little bad on that one, then came back and was able to get it in the end zone, get a little bit of redemption. We were able to end the game with that, so it felt great.
Good.
Did you get any sacks today?
Yeah, I got one. And that was the fumble recovery for the touchdown. I got forced the fumble.
About time you get some of that.
There's an animal out there today, man.
Hey, trying.
Did you turn the ball over at all?
Yes, unfortunately.
I don't want to bring up one negative. But did you bounce back?
Yes. Took
They
a little
brought a
while,
little
but
heat
I
at
did. us.
us, didn't they?
What was that?
They brought a little pressure.
They're bringing it.
Did you feel? Did you feel
Yeah.
any extra pressure? I mean, they had pretty much stopped Juan from running the ball. I mean, I think he had 59 yards rushing, where he's been averaging over 100. So that puts more pressure on you guys as a passing attack. Did you feel any more pressure during the course of the game?
I didn't feel any more pressure because I knew that running the ball, they were obviously blitzing a lot or covering the run really well, and that would open up the pass. And all I would have to do is go through my reads and just stay calm and play the game.
Seemed for the most part you had quite a bit of time to throw, right?
Oh yeah, the line did very well today. It gave me a lot of time. I even had time to find alleys and run, so they did really well.
And Max, how about that reminds me, how about before the touchdown, your ability to make a play with your legs and get that 31-yard run on 3rd and 14 to keep that drive alive and not give them the ball back with a chance to tie or take the lead?
Yeah, I was going through my reads and going low to high, and then I just saw an alley and decided to take it and made a move on one guy and got the first down and tried to stay in bounds, get the drive going.
Well, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
Good
it, guys.
job, guys. Good job.
Thanks, gentlemen. Congratulations.
Thank you. Coach.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hand this off to the coach. Yeah, congratulations, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it.
Thanks. Oh, sorry.
My bad.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's
Let me get this straight. No stupid questions.
No stupid questions, please, from you, Rick O'Block. Let me start by, they did a good job. They hung in there and played it, so you have to give those guys some credit, without a doubt. They came after us. I thought they had a good game plan. They pressured us a bunch, which, we have to be able to handle that. We either have to be able to crease them with the run or get it blocked up and get the ball down the field for some big plays. So that's what you kind of count on when everybody's bringing pressure like that. So I compliment them. I thought they had a good plan. I thought they played hard. I compliment our kids because I think they played hard as well. They hung in there and started. Now I think we can build on some things because I think this is it's a good, let's say, motivator for us to believe in what we're doing. And if you don't believe, you're not going to end up winning and being as good as you should be. So I think it's good from that standpoint, that we really believe in what's going on now, and we believe in each other a little bit more. And it's going to be a tester next week, but it was good for our players, and I congratulate our coaches and congratulate their coaches. They did a good job.
And speaking of building blocks and belief, we talked a little bit back about reestablishing, your guys as a force on your home field. I mean,
right.
how key is getting off to that 2-0 start at home and starting to get those guys to believe that.
I really think they did, because I really didn't have to say a lot about it this week. Because again, they did the talking about this is our house. We protect our house. All of those things that we had been preaching the first week at home. So it's good to hear them repeat what you're saying or have told them. So they're starting to, buy in and believe that, doggone, there's nothing more sacred than our house and protecting our house. So that was good to see them. They took it. They took the ball and rolled with it. So I was pleased to see that.
And I imagine you were also pleased to clean up the turnovers after halftime, 0, and force a few of your own to slow them down a little bit.
Well, exactly. Gosh, if we quit playing giveaway, we might make it. We can't seem to make it easy, can we? So we have to quit playing giveaway and turning the ball over. And I compliment Max. He was placed in a situation where Thursday, you come out and say, okay, now you got to get ready to go, because doesn't look like the other guy's going to get ready to go. So we didn't actually make that move or know that till Friday. So he had the night to sleep on it, but he had hit his thumb on the helmet during practice, and so we've given Max a lot of snaps anyway prior to that. But I compliment Max. He came in and did a good job. And I teased him a little bit, and I chewed him real hard on the sideline, on the one that we put on the ground, to just make the decision a little quicker, get it out of his tummy a little bit quicker, and because he tried to pull it. He's on the read, and he tried to pull the ball, and I just thought he left it a little bit too long into the line of scrimmage, and then tried to pull it off the hip and let it go. But anyway, that happens, and you make some mistakes, and you have to rebound. But I was pleased with our guys and the way they kept fighting. We let them back in it. We got off to an early start. We don't know how to, put the accelerator down yet. And those are things that we're going to have to learn. But I'm proud of our guys for hanging in there and believing and keep fighting. And defense come up with some tremendous stops late. They're athletic, very athletic. Their skilled guys are very good. We have trouble tackling them at times. So you have to compliment them. I mean, those are good guys. But our guys, I compliment our guys. They hung in there and fought. We just have to continue to improve.
Yeah. Oh, and how tough does it make the decision on you going forward at the quarterback position when Max comes in and plays as well as he did, and Jordan's coming off a week where he showed some signs of improvement too?
The best thing you can have as a coach, in my opinion, to make us better is competition. And if you don't have somebody breathing down your neck, you're not going to get better. That's my belief. And I believe people perform better under pressure. I know if somebody's breathing down your neck waiting to take your job, you're going to work your tail off, right? It's the same way. But if you don't have that, it's sometimes hard to motivate. Okay, the best motivator in the world is competition, and that guy behind me is going to take my job. So I like it, and I don't see it as anything but making us better and making both of those kids better. And now what we need is you need that in every spot, okay? And that's the great thing about these teams that win national championships. You don't have to have a lot of motivation going to the field, because I know I got that guy and I got that guy, and if I don't work as hard as I can work today to the maximum to get better, he's going to replace me. That's when you get real good. So I like the competition, and I like that, you know, Max now has established himself a little bit, and it's always good when you say to the other guy that kind of got hurt, hey, you come back and win it back. You know, so hopefully that's what we'll get into. And you'd like to have that at every spot.
Seemed like he made some good decisions though too. Rather
He
than
did.
making sacks,
He did.
Throwing it out of bounds.
He was cool, yes, and he threw it out of bounds, right? He made the one blunderhead, but you know, his coaches, we made a lot of blunderhead decisions today too, and somehow the players overcame.
Oh, and just how key after they were able to get a couple of big plays to get within 3 points, that your defense was able to stiffen and get you that stop, and then you were able to put a drive together following that.
Crucial. And again, that's part of these kids believing in themselves, and when the pressure's on, coming in and making some plays and getting us off the field and then getting the ball back for the offense. All of those things combined. I mean, it's good. We can learn a lot from this and build up. It'll help us a bunch. Just because, yeah, believe in yourselves, guys. You're going to go get off the field. We're going to get it done. And again, keep the ball in front of you. And, you know, make them have to beat you. Don't give one away. And we kind of played a little bit of giveaway. We did on our punt team, and we did on a couple, you know, throwing it up a little bit. So we have to learn to not give it away like we did.
And speaking of that, how do you start to combat, you know, a couple weeks in a row, long punt returns for touchdowns? They had a couple of big plays. I mean, how do you start to slow?
Well, that's nothing more than good athletes on not quite as good an athlete breaking a tackle. We're missing tackles. We're down there. We just have to make sure that we make a tackle. So we have to continue to work our tackling, which we, you know, we'll do every day. And continue to work our coverage. I mean, we're getting guys down the field. We're just missing. So that's nothing more than just working on it. And I know in all the years that I've been coaching, you have that guy back there that's special, returning it, you know, makes you pretty darn good. If he's a little quicker than some of those guys coming down, he can make a lot of people miss. So we have to do a better job of keeping it in front of us and just continue to work on it, because our punter does a great job. And we work so much on protection. We just have to continue to work coverage.
On the positive side, how
give me something positive.
Yeah, how key is it for you guys to head into the bit of a daunting road trip you got coming up with road games against CSU Pueblo and Mines, with a little bit of a good feeling here with the win, something to build
it's
off
great.
of.
It's like I told them you know, we'll enjoy it. The great thing about athletics and football, of course, is that, you know, if you happen to lose, it doesn't last very long. You gotta get ready for the next week. And that's the bad thing about it too. You get a win, you only get to enjoy it tonight, because we have to start tomorrow getting ready for the next opponent, which is Pueblo. So, you know, they can enjoy tonight, take care of themselves, of course. They better act like gentlemen, and then come in tomorrow and get ready to go, because we'll get after them tomorrow. And yeah, you've got to be, this positiveness will help us as far as the road trip coming up, or both of them. I guess we have one after another. I try not to look past the one, but we're looking forward to it. Yeah, we get a chance to go play team that's picked number one. You know, and that's a great thing about, you know, you get to a point that you pick number one, that puts a bullseye on your chest. And we want to take aim at that, you know. They have the right to have that bullseye. Our guys want to take that bullseye, someday put that on our chest. Say, we're number one. Okay, come and get us. So we get to aim at it, they get to protect it.
It's been a long time since you've had that many people at a Fort Lewis game.
How many do we have? I didn't notice, but it sounded good.
It was darn near full.
Was it really?
It was great.
I loved it.
So how was that for the players to hear all those fans? I know the coaches were excited. It's been a long time since we've had that many people here attending a game.
Well,
It had to help.
That's a positive. You know, I knew there wasn't 90,000 there, but I'm proud. I'm thankful for everybody that came. I mean, it was good. Those kids will hear it, and you hear it on the sideline. And there was, there was some racket, which was good to hear. So we tried to, come over to the fans afterwards and see if we can get some kind of rapport going with our fans. That we really appreciate you guys for coming out and supporting us. And they came over and did our hot jacks in front, and I told them, hey, go over the barrier and say, give them a high five and thank all the fans.
Because you mentioned that after the Oklahoma Baptist game.
Right.
Players weren't used to winning, so they just walked off the field.
Exactly. They don't know what to do.
So you
well, now we got a little, and you kind of have to orchestrate a little bit, okay? But we're going to come over and, you sing a song. We don't know how to sing songs, so we do the hot jacks in front of you. We know how to do that and get it right without goofing it up, and then come and give everybody a high five. So it's fun.
It's great to see everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, estimated on here 1,256.
All right.
So that's what they got down.
Good.
It seemed like more than that.
No, they were loud sometimes.
How many do we hold?
I don't know that.
We have to pack that baby.
Around.
Pack it every week and then get it to where we put up a new one, bigger, right?
Keep winning.
Keep winning.
It's a simple formula, right?
It is. It's very simple. We can just follow it. We have trouble following directions sometimes.
So what's next? What are the injuries coming out of the game anyway?
I've not gotten a report from our trainers yet, but nothing reported serious to me during the game. So I'm very optimistic that we're going to be healthy. And we're without some guys.
Well,
today.
Duncan,
as you know, Doyle, number one. Anderson wasn't out there. Smith should be back this next week. We wanted to hold him. He's been working out this week, but he's not quite as strong in that leg as we would have liked. So, but he'll be back for next week. So we should be coming back more to full strength when we hit Pueblo, which we need everybody.
So those players.
Each of us needs all of us.
You had to be pleased with the players that stepped in for those starters.
Exactly.
That were out.
Exactly. And that's what you try to tell those guys, and that's the reason you prepare, and that's the reason we work you so hard, is that you're one play away from a start. And then now with the situation with Doyle, you have a red shirt that all he does is go down and all week long prepare. But we dressed him. He's two plays away from a start, if you know what I mean. So now you got to bring somebody else up and bring them along too and prepare them, and that's one of the great things about the game, and that's one of the bad things about the game.
Amory Duncan didn't play as much as normal.
He didn't practice much. Yeah, he came out. We did a few things with him. His toe is not ready, and we were fortunate to be able to keep him out, not have to use him. Same with Anderson. Same with some of these other guys that are banged up, and hopefully they'll be ready to go. All right, gentlemen and lady. Congratulations, go Hawks!
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll see you tomorrow night.